Hello everyone and welcome back to Dungeon Delvers, the channel of geeky people who delve deeper into the realms of Dungeons and Dragons. We are here again with the cast of the Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, excluding one, as is the announcement for tonight. Salvation shall be missing this session, unfortunately, due to real life things, but I shall be taking place in the world, and she will be a kind of NPC PC. She'll be there, but not there at the same time. Not answering any major questions. Nevertheless, we are back with the rest of the cast, including Jackal, who's still hiding behind his picture, just in case people forget he's there.
But you can't.
Yes, he's shown his face
He
for the
does
first time.
no such thing.
And it's one of them. We appreciate all the subscribers and comments and likes and things. Go and check out our Instagram page at the Dungeon Delvers with the Z, and make sure, obviously, if you're on YouTube, which you are now, go and smash those buttons and the notification buttons and things like that. Just making sure that we
smash all buttons.
We want to continue making content for you guys, so obviously we appreciate all of them at the same thing. So.
Where do we leave off, Fraser?
Where do we leave off? Yes, I tell you what, because we've done all of the first-person accounts for the first round of sessions, I would say, I'm going to pick a random draw, I think, at some point, of the person I think who was the most skillful, who had the better skill set in first-person accounting, and they perhaps may or may not get some sort of advantage or some sort of gift.
If the tag away my exhaustion, I'll do it.
But we will see that in the future. But obviously, we've done everyone, I think, on the cast who wanted to take part and participate. So that was been done in the last few sessions. But this session, I shall give you the official review of what happened last session. So, we are now on episode 21, I believe. Is that right?
Cool, yeah.
Ooh, get in there. Be 1,000, episode 160. I'm like, my beard would have grown.
So much rendering.
Sort of Luke's hair as well.
All of the same.
So, after the party finished off the shadowy entities, they found themselves in a quiet side street of one of the main strips in Bryn Shander to follow the quest given to them by Lynn Trollbane to talk to the sheriff of the town, where Divessa Shane resides, to discuss a messenger from the fortress of Karkarock about a peace treaty. Upon entrance, the sheriff makes the party welcome with hot chocolates and a roaring fire, soon bringing the goblin messenger, Woober, from Yarbnock in front of the party. He explains how he will act as a sort of escort or guide for our party to the fortress to begin the arrangements over a dinner of sorts. Divessa then follows down the stairs to greet the party, who presents themselves as a young town speaker. She addresses the party with grace and understanding that they are here to make her peace treaty happen. She explains to the party that they will have to come back with proof that the peace treaty has been confirmed with the tribal leader, Yarbnock, and he makes some sort of arrangement that he won't strike again. Leaving the town speaker's house on the way to the Northlook, the civilians are crowded in the streets of this late hour with chatter and the looks of fear and terror on their face while hearing about a creature flying over the city. After Jackal notices some strange carvings on the table in the Dwarvish, bedding down in the Northlook, feeding Woober and finding a cosy accommodation in the basement after fetching some expensive upgrades, you find yourself rested for the journey to Karkarock. Exiting the city, following the hasteful Woober, you found yourself on the beaten track, travelling off the beaten track, I should say, travelling for hours, being battered and beaten by snow and wind. Some of you find it tougher than others, with the cold setting deep into your skin, into your form, making it harder to move, to talk. Taking some punishment, aka points of exhaustion. Whispers take over some of your minds with haunting voices speaking of death and imminent defeat. Sooner or later, tired and beaten, the party finds themselves covered in a familiar dome or unfamiliar dome that has been created by Oakland. Settling down for the rest of the journey ahead, a slight rumbling of the ground could be felt. Surely, but inevitably, this huge monstrosity of a palm reaches out and grabs around the rock that you all sit around, peering your head out, and all you can hear, for those that you are awake, so Sentry and Jackal, you hear. What is it you would like to do?
I think I remember last session I said I'm just going to quietly draw my swords.
Yes, you have your swords drawn, I believe.
Yeah.
So you did that during you... Well, whilst you're hearing these voices, or sorry, the noises, you were basically slowly just unsheathing.
How long were the people... How long were the people who were actually asleep for until this happened?
I did say last session it was roughly a few hours. And I think it was Oakland who was still in a meditative state.
So does that count as a short
You're on
rest?
mute, Chloe.
Or was you asleep?
Never gonna get used to that.
It's fine.
I'm awake.
You're awake.
I'm awake for the first 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay, so I think it was the first 2 hours of your 4 hour awake period. That's when it started happening. So
Cool.
I would say that the only people who are aware at the moment, I would say everyone but Saya
Okay.
in this room.
Would that count as a short rest or not?
I would say
Just
so,
a
yes.
few hours. Yay! Get that shit out of here.
Salvation is currently
You only
asleep.
get rid of your exhaustion after a long rest, Ollie.
Oh, what? I
Yeah,
thought it was
long
short
rest, not short rest.
no long.
Salvation is currently dozing off. She's kind
I'll
of
get
got,
my addict though.
she's kind of leant her head on like the side, making like a pillow out of a pack. A bit drool is hanging down. She's kind of like away with the fairies at the moment. But the rest of you who are awake, you hear this very loud, encompassing noise of this encroaching footsteps, and just, I would say that Sentry and Jackal, you do see just the top of a humanoid figure just poke out. What are you doing at this moment?
From what side poke out?
So I shall pop it. So I'll ping the area where you saw it. So it's from down here.
Okay, that side.
Oh,
I will power on a little bit further than currently am. I'm just seeing that Jackal and Willow reacted to what's happening around. Just quietly, obviously I can't quietly whilst we're talking over, but I'll quietly whisper to the two of them. The noise coming from the northeast here. Do you think we should stay here and rest up? Do you think it will see us, Willow?
You hear this conversation. Are you guys being quiet, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like
Okay.
super quiet right
Whoever
now.
is talking, I would like you to make a stealth check, just general. As this thing is 15, 20 feet away from you.
I'll make a
yeah.
stealth check for my snoring.
Can we see it if it's 15, 20 feet
You
away?
can just, with the limited amount of light outside, because there is no light outside, you are all...
Oh, we
talking.
would see this. Oh,
Yeah, you see a silhouette, and this is it.
okay. I probably wouldn't have spoken then at all.
Okay.
I'll
If you don't want to
probably,
speak, just put it out
Just-
there. Everything is being
Yeah.
monitored right now. Yeah.
I'll probably just put my hand over my lips and just say, like, to stay
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I thought that you meant it was like in the distance a bit.
No.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that
Sorry,
close.
15, 20 feet away.
Oh, right.
Okay.
In that case, then Sentry will stay in his same spot and just stay vigilant, looking all the way around, keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm going to silence speech to Sentry and then straight after to Willow as well. So 'cause I can only do one at a time, so I'll do Sentry, Willow, and I'll say, "Do you think it will ever go away?"
Yeah. What do I know anything about giants? Out of question.
Make a history check for me, just to see how much you
Because
do.
I probably would have gathered it was a giant if it's that fucking big.
We'll see what you do now.
That's a 26.
26. During your studies, when you were younger, you absolutely do know what a giant is. This references a type of giant because it's a silhouette and you haven't seen any details just yet. You absolutely are sure that this is of nature, of what you've read about. With the 26, I would say that frost giants are normally a little bit different than ordinary giants. Ordinary giants have a very simplistic mind. With these frost giants, they can be a little bit more intellectual. Some have been seen to. Some are very similar to the normal giants. Just a handful of them have a bit more culture.
Brains.
They know a little bit more. So you've kind of.
Do I know about territories and stuff like that for giants? Do they normally have a territory that they guard?
So yeah, with the higher roll, the 26 that you got, I would say that kind of what you've read about giants is they aren't necessarily territorial. They do kind of like keep themselves to themselves. They travel, they make home where they land, and they make or hunt and find food where they can. If they have families or mate, then they tend to be a bit more aggressive. But I will say that with frost giants, their behaviour is a little bit different to normal giants, and you're not quite sure if there's a hierarchy or something like that.
I would have probably thought they're more thought out sort of creatures. They don't just see something and have bloodlust sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. They some of them, you're not sure about all of them, so this is just a general idea. But yeah, I would say that talking to them doesn't always work, but sometimes negotiation is possible.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'll just be. You said, do you think he'll go away, right, Jackal?
Are you talking to me? Sorry, or?
In your silent speech across, you were asking.
Oh yes,
do you think he'll
yeah.
go
I
away?
asked, do you think he'll go away? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just nod back. No, I can't talk back to you. And just nod. And keep looking around.
Silence.
I'm gonna-
Back to. Go on.
Don't carry on. Ooh. Carry on.
Silent speech back to Sentry. You reckon it might be worth trying to use the crystal, or do we not want to tamper with it?
I'll just shake my head for the minute.
I'm gonna grab my book, write down what I know about them, and then pass it to Jackal and Sentry instead of speaking. Does that make sense? So I write down what I want to say.
Yeah.
I can't
That'd be cool.
What
I
language
write
do you
down-
write it in?
Just common.
Just common. Cool.
Yeah. And I just write what I know about frost giants. And I'll say, unsure if it will move, but let's stay put for now.
Okay. Are you using quick sentences? Because this is all
Yeah,
happening.
quick
at the same time.
sentence.
Yeah.
Quick
You can't go,
sentence.
hold on, giant, let me just write a paragraph.
Yeah, it's a quick sentence, sort of
That's
like a scribble. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be neat.
As this is all happening and you guys are just communicating or trying to communicate, it's just slowly kind of like... and it moves about 5 feet towards your direction. Not directly towards you, but it moves to, and I'll ping the direction it's moving. So it was here when you saw it, and it started to move just slightly south east-ish.
I'm just gonna keep that for now.
Just keep watching it.
Everyone make a perception check who's awake. With disadvantage because it's dark. Unless you guys have
Double
dark vision.
disadvantage.
Unless you've got dark vision.
I sleep.
Damn.
14.
Only got a 10.
Like real shit.
Sorry, I'm just doing mine.
Okay, 17. Cool.
14.
14 disadvantage, that's right.
11.
11. I would say with a 14, just about see, when it started to walk past, you can just start to make out the silhouette of this humongous figure. And one of its legs is like 3 of you. Like, it is massive. And basically you kind of look up and you kind of see it's got kind of ragged clothes, but almost fashioned to a degree, so it's out of the kind of cold. It's got these sewn together sheepskin kind of skins, just basically sewn together with some sort of mesh material. It's just if you saw a load of sheep just peeled apart, that's what it looks like. It's got just like fur over it. And lugged across its back, you can see 2 dead carcasses of sorts. It's holding it by their arms or whatever the beast might be, and it's just got it over its shoulder, and in the other hand a club. It's just kind of just walking.
A club. Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys doing anything?
Stay real quiet and just watch it pass. Hopefully.
Watch it pass. Just give me a sec. So as you guys kind of just start watching it, are you communicating with yourself anymore, or are you
Nope.
continue to write, or are you just literally staying still?
Just staying completely still and silent for me.
Cool.
Sleep.
So DM's finding notes.
All good. Just checking as well. Is is it snowing heavy enough that it's like starting to like make little covered spots around the dome here and there as well, or is snowing light?
I would say to start setting the scene a little bit. As you're waiting and watching, and you've been here for a few hours, and the snow isn't that heavy, but as you're watching this figure kind of walk past, you're noticing a small build-up around the edges, and we're talking like a thin layer of snow, because this thing acts as a kind of shield, but it also stops the elements from getting in. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, that the dome doesn't absorb snow.
No. Nothing comes in at all unless I allow it to.
Yeah. So basically you can see this very thin layer, like when it starts to snow on your car and you can see bits, but it's like very thin. As it's interesting in this dome because there's not that much noise of wind in your ears. Normally you can hear the like that, but in here it's like almost you can hear each other's heartbeats, and it's kind of the like you can hear your own heartbeat, and you can just see this. You can feel it just shake the floor. It's like you watching something from in a car, essentially.
Just try to build all over again.
Yeah,
The
basically.
T-Rex thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of just see it walk past, and it's kind of making its way. And actually, what I will do, because I'm nice like that, I will put it into existence.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What?
dear.
And it is roughly here, about 10 feet away from your dome. And I mean, judging by the size of it and just looking at the kind of capacity of it, it is, I mean, it fills the space of your dome easy with a few footsteps.
I thought it would be like a Skyrim giant size, but guess not.
And it kind of, you just see it kind of, and it kind of like gets the game from on top of its shoulder and kind of like slumps it kind of across, shifting the weight over and looking around, and kind of goes and then just starts to carry on walking. Are you guys doing anything?
Nope.
And I would say it moves probably about 5-10ish feet until suddenly you watch it kind of make the familiar steps, and then it stops. And I would say, Jackal, because of your passive perception, which is ridiculous, you would hear a slight kind of like rustling of trees, and immediately the frost giant kind of turns around and goes and kind of like turns around, and immediately it kind of like looks around, kind of tries to raise its club in the air, kind of like ready to kind of like look around to attack, and you just see 12 arrows just
It sounded like the EastEnders theme then.
you hear the EastEnders theme.
Taken out. Yeah.
One arrow in its side, the next arrow in its other side, the one in the side of its neck, the one of its chest, and it kind of goes and just makes a roar. And you kind of see it looking around, trying to pull these arrows out. And again, another volley you see coming from the top of the rock. You see it, and you see another 3 or 4 arrows in its side. It drops the game, it drops the club, falls to one knee, and it goes, ooh, ooh. And in front of you, you see a familiar black emulating smoke just start to ripple in front of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Until it completely takes over this figure as it draws almost like a curtain from the underneath, and it starts to disappear as it panics. And you see the smoke just cover its whole form, and all you hear is silence.
Oh shit. I'm just gonna stay complete quiet.
I'm still asleep.
You're having a great time.
I would say,
in his knees,
and I'm going to make a roll for salvation as well. Can you make a Constitution saving throw just to see if you keep your sleep? I know it's a bit of a weird one, but it is pretty loud.
Sure.
Yeah, upon what Jam was
it's
saying.
18 because there's a disadvantage.
Okay, so 18.
No.
I would say you definitely hear this and you do wake up at this point.
18. Dang.
You get a 22. You don't have disadvantage on saving throws if you've only got one.
Oh, okay.
The
then.
DC was 12 anyway. 12 you'd stay asleep. Above 12 you'd wake up, because this is a situation you want to act in. Unless you wanted to stay asleep, it's up to you.
Yeah, I want to stay asleep.
Okay, fine. You hear this happen, but you can continue sleeping if you wish.
Yeah, he's fucking deep sleep. He's
Okay.
heavy.
So you kind of like, you feel a shake in your body and right yourself, and you continue sleeping.
Yeah, just kind
Please
of.
see Salvation wake up.
Give me a sec. I'm just gonna make a roll. First roll for me for a character. I'll tell you this for a fact.
Yeah.
Let's see what she gets. She got a natural 1.
Well,
So she remains completely. Yeah. So she got a 4. She remains asleep. And all goes silent, and you see this black smog, just very familiar from your last battle, just emulate and start just kind of like whooshing around just this area. The wind is very interesting because the wind does not take it whole, it doesn't blow it in any way, it just stays there and just lingers.
Is the giant stood up or
No,
down?
the giant fell on one knee. It went out in terms of the smoke, filled the area, and then all you heard was the and you almost felt its form collapse.
Oh, so he's down now.
You would assume so. Yeah.
Well, damn. How big is this like smoke? Sorry, like smoke area sort of thing.
You know, it is 30. 30 feet.
What around it?
30 square. So it is. Someone can do the maths for me.
2 + 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's...
Quite big.
Can someone? I mean, if you guys could make a square for your dome as well, just so we got a reference, but also make a square for the.
Don't know how you draw.
I can make one. I'll try. It's just so they had it. It's like
10. So dome goes there. Oh wait, no, we were close to the rocks, weren't we? Shit.
yeah.
Do you not have those things to show like 30-foot radius or something like that?
I don't have them just yet.
Okay.
I mean, that would be helpful. but we just do it by perception
So
versus just look on using the ruler.
Yeah,
You
so it's
draw.
10 radius, and then it's like around, kind of
Yeah.
in the area.
That's fine. But I would say, just looking at this, so you see this massive, goes off the map as well. 5, 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So it's like this.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
And it
Just-
almost touches your dome or the edges of the dome, but it doesn't quite touch it.
Just to check, we can't see anything else because I'm gathering this is the same thing as what we encountered in the market.
You'd be wise to think so, as this is a very familiar spell, and I would say, Oakland, you do recognise this as a dark smoke smell. A spell?
It does
Smell.
smell pretty
It smells
bad.
like dark smoke. It's a dark smoke spell. Or also known as darkness.
Do you know on? Can I? Well, depends if I'd have to make a separate perception roll. If not, I probably wouldn't see anything. But do I see anything beyond that? Any humanoids or anything?
I would say everyone who now is still awake, make a perception check. Saya, I mean, you can continue sleeping if you wish, or you can...
I am sleeping.
Okay.
Doing bad.
So I will say that right now you're incapacitated because you're not acting. Just because you're just on the floor.
me is an 18.
Well, you got a 12.
I've got an 18.
Okay, 18.
6.
6 and 12. I would say Jackal, just peering out the top. I would say you've just reached the DC for this. You have a slight glance on where the arrows came from, and you can just about make out on the top of this ledge a few heads poking out, and you count 1, and then you count 2, and you count 4, and you count 6, and you can see 7 heads just kind of like righting themselves just on the top of this ledge, and I'm going to put them on show just for you,
Ooh.
just so you can see.
Any distinguishing features with them that I can see?
From what you can see so far, and just with your passive, just seeing this kind of like putting over, you can see the familiar mask covering half of the face, the eyes glowing in an arcane nature, very similar to Sentry. It's kind of a dark blue or green tint, which doesn't really kind of like glow. It kind of glows with it in itself. Doesn't like make a light source, if that makes sense. And you can see that they are wearing a dark coat or cape or cloak, and unusually less clothes for the winter that you would assume. There isn't any heavy furs.
Okay, and I don't recognise these people, do we?
Basically, just the same from last time.
Same as in last time marketplace.
in the marketplace in the side alley. Yeah, same,
Okay.
adorning the same features. I would say.
Okay, again then silent speech to Sentry, and then silent speech to Willow, straight after. I count about 7 heads just above us. They look very familiar to the ones that we fought only a day ago in the town square.
Just give a little nod.
Yeah, just nod back.
Okay. At this point, you, I'm guessing, are all feeling a little bit anxious, as these arrows are still knocked, but they're just waiting for the smoke to settle. And how long did you guys wait? Did you guys wait it out until the smoke goes? Or did you do anything else?
I like Willow is just staying completely silent,
Yeah.
just a little bit in shock with what's
Okay.
going on.
You
Too many things.
And you, basically, Jackal, you see Athena as well by your side, kind of like ears up, always like focusing towards like the top of the ledge and then towards the smoke itself. Yeah, and you just kind of have this very eerie. I mean, if you've ever guys have seen the film The Wall, with the sniper behind the wall, this is how you feel right now. It's like,
Oh.
ooh, just waiting this inevitable, and you kind of wait a few minutes, and then 3 minutes pass, and it starts. You can see the magical effect starting to have this kind of like slow shimmer down. It kind of like goes back into the ground, seeps into the ground. And what you see first is the top of the side of this frost giant's side. You see the arm and where it's kind of like laying down now at this point, and it kind of like goes down and towards, I would say, probably 5 feet in the air. You start to see other heads appear as well, and you see not one but 3 other entities very similar to what you saw.
Got it.
Now,
just as a note, by the way, in case anything happens to the dome, as in if the dome goes down for whatever reason, I'll just be ready to wake up Salvation and Saya if the dome goes down or away for whatever
long
reason.
exactly have I got left until I need to start? If I need,
so
basically, if I was going to long rest
Yeah.
for the 4 hours, how long have I got left?
for the 4 hours.
Yep,
You started long resting when the dome was up, so you've been resting for 2 hours.
Yeah, but like what I mean is, I'm awake for 4 hours,
Yeah.
and then I meditate at.
Yeah, so you got 2 more hours
4
before
hours.
you wanna.
So I've got 2 more hours.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all I want to know.
Okay, cool. And you see, as this smoke is starting to apparate on the ground and move, you can see basically the entities kind of like just giving it an extra kind of. You see one of them with its dagger just kind of like slit its throat to make sure that it is absolutely dead, and you see the blood just start to go, and it just kind of like goes down its side and spills onto the floor. And it's almost eerie because the way that this frost giant's kind of fell, its eyes are glared straight at your dome, almost like it's watching, but you can see it's dead.
Cool.
Spoopy. You guys do anything?
Are they doing anything else? But
They're just
like what?
making sure that kill is dead. Right now they're just kind of inspecting the body. You see one of them kind of jump on the top and kind of like kick it, kind of like nudging the body, and you see the frost giant's body just kind of just move as they do it. It doesn't make any sort of movement. While this is happening, you can see just one by one the heads just starting to move off the top of the ledge.
Just out of question, are they all dressed the same, or is there like 2 or 3, or just one that's dressed differently, or looks like a higher ranking
Make a perception
person?
check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's dark.
I can see in the dark.
Then you can make a perception check.
Okay.
If you got dark vision, straight roll. If you can't, if you don't, then it's
That's a 16.
16. I would say with the 16, you can see that they're all wearing the same thing.
Okay. That's fine.
There's not one in like higher ranking clothes, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome.
Are you guys just watching these events unfold?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We could have helped poor thing.
You have 6 hours of your dome left, I think, roughly. So some would say plenty of time.
Yeah, I will stay very still and just watch them to see what they do, and then hopefully wait for them to move away.
Okay, cool. So you guys, your plan is to just wait this out, go to the Winchester, wait till it all blows over. Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys just sit there very quietly, on edge, your heart racing, as if these, I mean, you take it into account, and Oakland, you're smart enough to figure this out. If they've taken down a frost giant within a few seconds, wondering what they can do to you. And it kind of dawns over you that that not only of these entities you've seen before in the past, but also they are dangerous, and you fought them, and you know things are starting to not connect, but wondering why they're out in the wilderness, and those thoughts do creep through your head. I'm just gonna make a quick roll. Yeah, you guys just basically. I'm gonna make a quick roll. If you want to guys do anything, let me know.
I'm just going to save it.
No, just ready to wake if anything's happening.
Slap.
Slip.
I slap.
That's, okay. Interesting. Right. So, you guys wait about 10, 20 minutes, and these guys are just. You see, eventually the armored archers come round, or the black caped archers, and you can see more clearly now. They're wearing a very similar outfit to what the cloak and dagger put in perspective, and you kind of like see them all gathering around this kind of frost giant, making sure it's definitely dead. At which point you do see a few of them kind of, we're talking 5 feet away from your dome, just kind of walk past, you just see the legs kind of, and you hear the crunching of the floor and the snow, as if it were like right by you, and you're just keeping effectively so still. I am going to get you guys all to roll. You can roll 1 stealth check with advantage, just one of you. Just so, making sure that obviously we're keeping everything quiet. Who's going to do that?
Who's the stealthiest?
Jackal.
I can do it if you want.
Yeah, we'll give you advantage.
And skidoosh.
Oh,
Ooh.
11. Wow!
Brilliant. And as you kind of go by, you hold your breath, and you just think, yeah, they haven't heard me. Okay, good. And they kind of like carry on. And they're almost like butchering this thing. They're not really interested in its wares or its armaments or its game. They literally just take the next few minutes just to make sure it's absolutely dead. And they all start to kind of gather their things. They look around. One of them in particular does walk very close to your dome, hence the roll. Looks around and kind of like gives it a second kind of look over. And you can see these white eyes staring around you, and it's almost like they're looking at you. And then he kind of like turns away and walks off. And at this point, you guys, I'm guessing you're still doing nothing.
Yeah.
They eventually, one by one, make their way in a similar direction that you were going.
Direction to the direction that we will be heading. Sorry, or came from.
So the way you've gone is you've gone down. You've taken a slight tour off to the right where you saw this rocky area where Woobra this. And at this point, by the way, Woober has his hands over his mouth like this, and he's just literally scrunched himself into a ball, like.
Aww.
And as they start to leave, you can hear him go.
Woober's scared. Woober's scared of them.
Oh dear. That was a bit close than what I personally like.
Just still whispering.
Yep.
As to not wait salvation and say, if you all need to sleep, we would definitely sleep. We'll want to make sure we've got our heads on. I can keep an eye out.
Okay. And Oakland's going to go into her satchel and start getting loads of materials out.
Okay.
And then lay a bit of leather on and just place them to make sure she's got everything, etc. And unless we get any disturbances, Willow Oakland, will keep an eye out, basically, until I'd say 3 hours and... well, don't know really, 3 hours and 40 minutes sort of thing.
Okay.
Just before I meant to take a long rest, she's going to recast a dome. So it stays up for a further 8 hours.
Does it say you have to collapse the dome to recast it?
Basically, it's a ritual. So where the dome edge is, I can go round it as normal. And then as soon as I complete that, the other one collapses and then the new one appears. So there's almost like a glitch sort of thing effect. So it comes down and opens up again. So there will be that 1 second of where you're exposed.
I mean, I'll allow it to the fact that you know when your dome is going to end. But I will say there would be like a few minute period where there is no dome.
Okay.
Otherwise, what's the point in having a spell duration? Because you'd say it's 8 hours and you could say it's forever. Do you know what I mean?
You could do that anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
I was going
point.
to say you might as well do that near the ending of the spell when you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then because it's only 8 hours, so once we wake up, we get a further 4 hours. And that means Jackal can continue sleeping because he's been woken up, basically. So at least we got... So normally when you wake up, the dome just disappears.
What's this spell called again? Just my interest.
Tiny
it's
hut.
Tiny hut.
Wee little hut. Perfect for when you're exploring harsh environments.
Yeah.
That's why I picked it.
To make it easier, I will put it into the chat for you, Fraser.
Thank you. I'm just looking at chain casting, just seeing how it works. Okay, it basically says it's DM's discretion. So what I'm going to say is I'm just going to allow that to happen, but I will say there's literally 30 seconds, if that less, time where the dome isn't on.
It's like exposed. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that literally, I'd say 10 minutes before my rest. That way it stays up for an extra 4 hours once everybody rests.
So do you have to rest? Can you rest and then do an action and then rest again, and it's the remainder of your 4 hours, or do you have to start again?
What do you mean, sorry?
So you stay stationary for 4 hours, and then you have 4 hours of meditation. Is that right?
I can do whatever in those first. So basically, my long rest is 4 hours of meditation. I don't have to do everything else in that time.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. It's just I have to have 4 hours of meditation.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow it. As you're just sitting there doing nothing. Cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like sleep, but I'm like semi-conscious in a way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
But you're casting a spell. That's my query. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a ritual anyway.
But
it will take 10 minutes and it won't use a spell slot.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, the definition of rest in D&D is doing nothing, like nothing.
Yeah, that's my 4 hours.
Yeah. And then you're casting a spell, and then you're going back to resting. But yeah, you can meditate for 4 hours. That's all you need. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that the area looks clear. You can't see the figures in front of you or around you. You guys can make a an extra perception check if you wish, just to make sure.
Yeah.
So you can all collectively make one if you wish, all that you are awake.
No.
That's a natural 20.
Hey.
That works.
Ooh.
One you got a natural 20, one you got a natural 1. Fantastic. Jackal?
Yeah. Balancing them skills.
22.
22.
Oh, you would have got a natural as well if it was advantage.
Nearly. I would say though, Oakland, you seem very, very sure that there is no more in the immediate area that you can see.
It's awesome sword.
Yeah. So you all kind of like, as soon as, I mean, do you say this or do you keep it to yourself?
Oh no, yeah. Oh, sorry, I had a bit of a black moment there again.
That's
Yeah, I will tell.
Okay.
Whisper
Yeah.
whoever is awake.
So you whisper.
Which one was awake? Sentry.
You whisper to the rest of the party, you whisper to Sentry, and you kind of all take just a bit of a. I mean, you feel this immediately, Oakland. You go, like the massive weight's been shifted. But it's interesting because this giant's eyes are just glaring at you lifelessly. So throughout this, there's just this corpse just on the floor, and it's just staring just straight.
Okay. Yep, I will then begin to take my rest.
Amazing. Okay, so you can do that. Is anybody doing anything else while you're doing the rest?
Resting.
Yeah, just well, I usually am resting, but just keeping my usual eye out, making sure everyone's all right in the dome, and
Cool.
keeping my eye out for everything.
Yeah, you can do that. And I would say if that's everything that everyone wants to do, obviously we can continue to begin the rest period. And Willow, Oakland, you find yourself going into a meditative state quite easily. You don't feel any more disturbances until you start. Obviously, then you continue. Who's taking watch, or is there any watches, or are you all going?
I think it's just Sentry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just Sentry being a Sentry as he's normally doing. So,
Yeah.
so Jackal and Oakland, you find yourself finding a peaceful rest, or begin to, and Sentry just kind of looking around and keeping an eye on everyone. You can see the small, slight rise and fall of Athena's belly as I'm guessing Jackal's leaned against it. Is that what you normally do, Jackal?
Yeah.
So you could just see Jackal's head just going on this, falling asleep like that. You can see the small rest of the head rising and fall. And you kind of look round to your party, and you're kind of almost on edge because you just keep having a quick look at that ridge. And just no, you kind of look again. It's like no. You kind of just continue to look around. Just make a perception check while you're just there.
Yeah. When it gets to the 6-hour point, I'll have gone rid of my exhaustion, if that makes any difference.
Yeah, it will do.
But at the moment, yeah, 18.
18. We are now. So we've gone into the second hour of Oakland's meditation, which means that for some of you, say in Salvation, you have been asleep for 4, 5 hours, 6 hours.
Mhm.
You're beginning the ends of your long rest, whereas Sentry, you're just powering on minimal power, and Jackal's obviously taking the rest of his. And you kind of like look at Athena still and just kind of keeping round. You see the odd night owl kind of fly around. You go, just that silent kind of breeze before you hear the back end of it. Kind of like see a few owls fly by, and you kind of look forward to the giant, and just keeping an eye. And you notice something very strange. And you kind of like have to right yourself and kind of like focus in and almost losing like these eyes and kind of like looking forward. And you swear the giant's eyes have changed colour. You swear. Are you doing anything?
Not in a minute.
Okay. So you see this just behind Athena's rise and fall, kind of the eyes you see, and then it kind of goes and you see. And then I would say just kind of staring at it. You still looking in that direction, or are you doing something else?
No, still just looking
Okay.
around, yep.
You can see the way it's fell, it's kind of like hand is out there, and its club's by its side. And you just see the twitching of.
Oh, its fingers, yeah.
You doing anything? Okay,
No.
cool. So a few minutes pass, and slowly its whole body starts. You see a jagged twitch, and you hear the cracking of bone, and you hear that it's just its hand kind of like break as it impacts the floor, and goes, and you just see it trying to move, and you see its chest kind of like rises up as it tries to, almost without life, without expression, just starts to make its way up. And you see it, and you just keep watching. You see that first foot collapsing on itself as it's broken, and you see it kind of right itself again, and you just see get out on the other foot, and you can kind of see it kind of limping in one direction and just stands there.
I mean, as long as it doesn't see us, it's alright. Okay, wait. How long is the threshold for a long rest compared to a short rest, by the way?
Short rest is an hour, long rest is 7.
8.
7?
Or 8.
8 hours.
Right.
8 hours.
It was 6.
Oh.
Okay. Dang. Okay.
So at the moment, Sentry, all you're seeing is just this slumped figure, arms just down, limping off one leg. Kind of a slight sway to the breeze. And its eyes, a familiar crystal blue.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, just keep and watch.
cool. Keep it a sentry. Keep it a sentry, our sentry.
Sentry, yeah.
I will tell you,
That's no rest, by the way.
half an hour goes past. Half an hour goes past. It's still in the same position. Okay, you continue. Another half an hour goes past.
So it's been 8 hours. Come on.
Still stays.
Yep.
I don't want disadvantage.
Until everybody wakes up.
Okay, I would say that we're on the last hour of Sayers and Salvation's long rest. And Jackal's, because, I mean, Jackal, you did a watch, didn't you? Really?
I suppose so. Whilst I was up, and then went to sleep.
Yeah, you'll definitely want that, though. Yeah.
Okay. Oakland, you are obviously partway through meditation. Are you aware during your meditation, or is it completely unfazed?
I'm semi-conscious, so I'm not fully asleep, but I'm not fully awake. So I'm like in the middle.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it's just there, and then I would say for the next half an hour, it's just still standing there. Sentry, you are aware, and you are aware this spell around you is going to end at some point, and you will possibly be exposed.
That's cool.
Okay.
Didn't you review it?
Yeah, we renewed it, so it's.
We've made
by
a
the
rule
time-
though. There is a short time, and I mean a very short time.
I would have already
That
gone
was
up
already
before she
done.
did.
Oh, is it already
trance.
gone up and done that?
Yeah, it's already been done.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't panicking, because I was like, we would have already done that.
It's been and done. I done it before I rested.
Okay.
So once everyone else finishes their rest,
It went
I
down,
will-
and then you did it again.
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So that it was before it.
I'll have to
stood
work
up.
the mechanics of that out, because you have two parties resting, and if they're in the freezing snow, they may get woken up.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's
Yeah.
down to you then on how you want to play long rest, whether or not if like the campsite, for instance, at the campsite everyone's sleeping, but whoever's on watch, if the two people are on watch and they notice what's happening, wake everybody up. Combat ensues. When combat ends, if you're wanting to play out as the rest's been interrupted, and so everybody has to restart their long rest, then you can play it as that, and that means that a long rest
Yeah.
could be like anywhere between, like they could rest for 6 hours or 5 hours. Sorry, combat ensues. That's long rest over, and they've got to restart it for another 6 hours. So it could be 11 hours just trying to get a long rest in, which you could do. But
I will say to get the benefits, yes, that's how it works. But to get rested for an hour for short rests,
yeah, but
that's fine. So yeah, okay. Just to clarify, obviously with the theatre of the mind, it went down for 30 seconds earlier and then came back up again as you recasted it. That's how we're going to play it. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that happened earlier, and we'll count the Constitution saving throws as they were, which is fine. Yeah, and you can just start to see another hour goes past. It's still swaying there. And it's getting to the point now where you're slowly starting to see the sky change to a familiar colour of dull light.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and at this point, Saya and Salvation have taken their long rest.
Yay!
Both done mine by now.
You would have probably an hour to go. Or did you do it in 4 hours? I'm trying to just work it all out logistically.
To make it into perspective, they've rested. So, me against Saya. Saya goes to bed. By his 4th hour, I go to bed, and then when he wakes up, I'll wake up.
Okay, I would say for that point, yes, you are. Yeah, just to make it make sense, I would say you'll come into consciousness as well.
If not, I can let you know how it works.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You come at the same time. So Salvation, Saya, Oaklin, and Jackal, I would say you've all completed a full long rest.
Yes.
There you go,
Put
rid of the,
exhaustion down.
And for those of you who have exhaustion points, yeah, you can reduce that by about.
I'm
One more
back
to
at
go.
normal.
Still.
yeah, when each of them are stirring up, I'll just wave my hand over.
Okay.
So they look at me and just hold my hand toward them, just to tell them to be quiet.
Okay. Do
I see this big thing up?
Everyone who now is waking up, and you see kind of like Salvation kind of turn around to kind of where Sentry's looking, and she kind of stumbles back a little bit, and say you can see this, Jackal, you can see this, and Oakland, you can see this form of this frost giant just standing there lifelessly.
I'm gonna look towards Sentry and just say, what happened to him?
Whispering back again. Whilst all of you were sleeping, the giant that was felled by the dark figures, Salvation, so there were figures that came during your rest and brought down the giant over there. He changed and had blue eyes, much like the dwarves, I believe, that we met that were crushed by the tree. And now he's back up.
And I would assume it's Salvation at this point would look and go, that is very freaky.
I always seem to
Just
miss
whisper into herself, obviously.
I quietly get out my book, and Widow's just gonna look through it and basically going to see if this is any form of necromancy.
Okay. I mean, make an Arcana check just to start. You want to check that out?
That's another natural 20.
The natural 20. I would say that
27.
it's definitely along the lines of necromancy, in the fact that you feel like it is obviously raising the dead. You can see a bloodied, beaten, battered, should be dead figure alive in front of you. So it is a form of necromancy. The spell of which, with the eyes glowing in the way they do, no idea. Necromancy in your books is normally bringing back a bodied figure to a life force, and what that means is just the body is either in command by somebody else or of its own nature, but it is just there as a form. There is no eyes that glow.
But it's very much the same as obviously what they said about the dwarves.
Yeah.
Having blue eyes and stuff.
With an at 20, with an Arcana check, it's exactly the same as what you've seen on the path with the dwarves. And you also see with that check, the eye colour is the same as the cold light walker blue. Exactly the same.
Okay.
Man, been connecting them dots.
Connecting them dots, innit?
Exactly.
If we're all rested now, I believe making a plan of attack may be the best idea here, governing that the glowing figures we've met before aren't particularly malleable to conversations.
I agree. I feel pretty good right now, so I don't see why not.
This is up for just roughly 4 hours extra, so we have time before we go out in the cold.
Woober kind of sits up and like looks around and goes,
Uber needs, we need to go, towards Fort.
Kind of weird at the fact that they left this thing here. I'm a bit concerned about if we leave it here, what they might use it for, if it is some kind of possession.
Well,
Incredibly.
isn't it what's going on here? I don't recognize it as any sort of spell, but obviously it is power from the Frost Maiden in a way. So do you think these shadow-like entities are the reason this whole issue is happening? Meaning we might have a answer to what happened to the king. This could be a lead.
Maybe.
Because of those gnolls that attack. But they were also infected with this sort of necromantic disease.
I feel like this is something we should discuss once we actually sort out the predicament we're in right now. There seems to be a dead giant that could easily kill us right in front of us.
Well, either way, this dome's going to go down in either 4 hours or within a second, so I guess we need to figure out how we're going to do this safely. I have got an idea. You see behind us, and I'm going to point in this direction. I'm going to mark it on the map.
yep. Cool.
I stay in the dome till last. All of you out, sneakily go along the rocks and try and get to a safe area. And then as soon as that's done, I will teleport over. And then the dome will disappear.
You sure?
That way we have more of a chance to get away without being seen.
I think getting rid of this would be the best idea. It's not good for 10 towns.
What if it attacked
I
him?
agree with Sentry. That doesn't happen often, but
Woober, if you stay in the hut or move with Willow to a distance, then you'll be able to keep out of its way. We need to make sure that you stay up so that we can continue on our path and you show us the way. Yes, Woober?
Well, before that, basically this spell works in a way where I have to stay in the dome. If I go out of it, it disappears. So I always have to stay in for it to stay up. If you guys want to investigate it and see if it's going to be triggered by you guys getting out of the dome, then Weaver can stay in here with me. I can cast spells out of it, but I can't go out of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, if you get what I mean. So,
You can't cast spells out of it.
can you not?
No.
Ignore that bit then.
I
Yeah.
can stay in
If
it.
you're in the dome,
I don't do anything.
yeah, when you're in the dome,
Never
same,
mind.
same
Well-
thing, you can't like shoot bolts and shit out of it either. Yeah.
Either way, I can stay in here, look after Weaver, and if anything goes wrong, then I can bump out and help you guys.
Or if Wilbur gets to that place you were talking about behind us, and we have aggravated and distract it, and you go over and see him while we're fighting it, would that help?
Well, it can't get in here at all. Unless it's magical in some sort of way, but nothing can get in unless I allow it. And
Exactly. If I believe what we're meaning here is having your firepower from a distance with protecting Woober may be a good bet as well.
Yeah.
As in, if we build the formation line between yourself and where you move back to with Woober, you'll be able to shoot from afar, and we'll be able to keep it steady where we are. You can stay in the dome if you feel that'll be best with yourself and Woober, but having the extra,
hands on deck.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's fine. That sounds like a plan. You guys see what's going to go on. I'll go further where the rocks are and sail Woober, and hopefully this thing is just lifeless. Hopefully.
Time to find out. And Saya kind of draws his sword and sticks his head out of the of the dome. Just
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what? You sticking your head out?
So you stick your head out the dome.
yeah.
Okay. Where are you sticking your head out the dome? Where you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whilst he does that, Jackal's mounting Athena.
As soon as you stick your head out the dome, Sentry, you've seen this figure just be idle for hours. As soon as Saya sticks his head out the dome, it goes.
I quickly go.
And as soon as you put it in, it kind of like slumps round and goes. And then kind of like starts walking. It takes a step forward.
I quickly look as it starts to move. I quickly turn around to
Right, let's
Sentry.
move. Let's move.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna run with Woober.
Yeah,
hit.
using
run out in front and draw my sword.
Okay.
going with 2 players, I'm getting Salvation Wood, cast Bless at 2nd level.
That's fine. You can take control of salvation.
2, 3, 4.
Yes, when you want a support character to support you.
I would like everybody to roll
No, it's
initiative.
not everybody. So
Can I possibly move before initiative since they did?
As soon as it starts walking, that's when you've got to start rolling initiative. So I'd say that where you are is where you are.
Okay.
so Bless at
I gotta select my token.
15.
Just to see how
Let me
this
just-
goes out.
not the 2nd level. So
Fuck, my initiative is always so bad.
Don't worry, we got it. We'll distract her.
3, so 4 creatures.
Fine.
1,
It's fine. I'm still in the dome. It's all good at the moment.
Always forget to select my token.
3.
Oh, what? The turn order just disappeared.
It's fine.
Was
I've
there-
changed it. It's cool.
Okay,
So,
right.
I'll never delete the last ones. Maestro, if you
Bless.
please, Ollie.
Oh, yes.
If you remember. You had one job.
I've been resetting the music when it's almost been over as well. Okay.
I know you have, mate, so I appreciate it.
I'm trying to bring up Athena's character sheet. It's being funny at the moment.
She's like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, don't want about it.
No.
But I can click everything else but Athena. Athena, bad girl.
That's strange. Okay, so
Naughty
let's-
sausage, come on.
Just before this, I would say as a quick reaction, Salvation does manage to get the blast spell off. So Sentry, I'm going to label you with a little blue. Willow, yeah,
So
absolutely.
roll 20.
And
3 roll playing quick so I can roll for Athena.
Jackal, you got
I don't roll
What does Bless do again?
+2.
D4.
D4 attack.
So, what is it again?
It's attacks and saving throws,
attacks and
isn't it?
saving throws, yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
That's advantage.
No,
No,
it's not
not
advantage.
advantage.
It's
no.
just
Isn't that
you add-
guidance?
No, guidance. It's just a D4 to checks and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's your attack rolls and saving throws. And it lasts a minute, I think?
Blesses.
Bless you. Bless a creature within your range with a target attack roll or saving throw for the Spenzel. The target can roll a d4 and add that to the roll. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sal did it at 2nd level, by the way, so that way she got the extra 1 person in.
Yeah, I understood that. So Jackal, say. So all of you. Except
I
for
can't
Rosa.
mark
There
on
we
the
go,
sheet,
I've
so I
managed
just
to
have
pull
to
up
remember
Athena's
it.
thing.
You're just using her as a buff.
Well, no, she's going
You
to
only
be a
get
big damage.
one use of the
It would
D4,
be the
or it's
smart thing
just
to do.
until the duration ends.
Okay.
Yeah. Slash roll.
Luke, is it? Do we
Athena got 15.
keep using the D4, or is it one use of the D4?
No. Constant. Every single attack.
Okay. I was
Every
just
single.
checking.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Plus
Oh, Woober got a 17.
Oh, Salvation got.
I'm gonna snap that kneecaps.
Salvation got 6. I can't move it, by the way, Fraser.
I'm
but
going to give you control. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to give you control.
control. Gaining the Matrix. Yeah, no, Bless is by far one of the best spells that you can ever use.
Had a maximum of an extra 4 damage, so that's pretty fun.
No, not on damage. It's just to hit.
To hit.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah. So, but it's an extra D4 because otherwise you get
Yeah.
no damage. Yeah, if you miss. So.
I'm probably gonna go big wolf boy on this.
So,
I think you should.
This guy's pretty frantic.
just wait for Oakland to jump back. I mean, we are pretty much first in the initiative anyway. So
Yeah.
I would say,
yeah, can you add Sal, and she got a 6 rolled.
cool.
She's got 18 AC.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Salvation.
Who's up?
I would say, Jackal, you're up first. You see the frost giant just kind of like start slumping towards the dome. Just. What'd you do?
Right, Jackal again, still having his swords drawn. He is. Oh, how much movement? Yeah, we got the full movement back. Okay, so. Yeah, so Jackal is going to move 5, then jump, run out the dome to get into distance with this frost giant. As he's jumping out the dome, he's going to slash at one of the frost giant's legs.
Okay. Take that, make that move.
And for a 25 to hit.
Woo!
25. Let's have a look.
Plus D4 if you needed it.
25 absolutely,
I'm worried if I do.
absolutely hits. Yeah, make your. So it's 11 damage. is
He's
it?
a giant, isn't he? No, because he's a giant,
Oh, different
isn't
type,
he?
not
So he's not a
humanoid yet.
humanoid.
So,
Yeah,
he-
so just a 9, so bear with me, I'll
Good
turn that
boy.
off.
Cool.
Well, hang on, let me just double check something though as well, quick.
I would've thought they're human looking. They're just
no,
big.
they're their own race,
No, I
giants.
don't. No, they're a monstrosity
Oh really?
thing
Yeah.
Oh,
as well. Yeah. So, if I chose to carry on in Ranger, I can choose giants, but I'm not carrying on in Ranger, so. Okay, that's cool. 5, 10, yeah, and then I'm going to bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
So, so doesn't ignore this damage, doesn't do anything yet. Really should have done that first, really. Did that kind of silly. Oh well.
You actually did
It's
it in
been
the
a
right
while.
order. You did it in the right order because you can't cast spells outside of the dome. But you could have done it.
Inside.
You could have done it before, if you, obviously, when you're
I
out.
could've
No, sorry,
did it
inside the
and then-
dome, you couldn't have done it outside.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, well he's now marked, and then I'm going to move back 5.
Thank you.
10.
By the way. Yes, he hasn't.
You're welcome.
that would have been awkward. He just never attacks.
Well, yeah. Oh, hey, man. it
Maybe
happens.
it's part of it. Maybe that's part of the flavour. Now you got
You
some-
just-
And that will be the end of my turn.
Amazing. So you jump back in the dome. He kind of like looks down at you, kind of goes "Woo," like a really like glazed kind of look straight towards you. You do some damage, and he kind of like you hit his leg, and he kind of goes "Woo," and it just looks towards you as you run back in.
He seems pissed off.
Next up is Woober. So Woober's gonna look at what you've just done, Jackal. He's gonna step out to his right, about 5-10 feet. He's gonna draw this small short bow he's had attached to his pouch, and kind of like brings it out and kind of goes and fires a shot off. That is a 17 to hit. Let's have a look how much damage. That is 7 piercing damage. Fantastic.
Oh,
As
they
he, no,
But Ooh, but
Okay, so
I thought he
he
was really a coward.
he throws his bow into it, kind of like looking away, and goes, kind of throws it forward into the under the armor plate, and just lodges in the side next to the other array of large bolts hanging out this thing, and kind of goes, help, and then runs back in.
At least he's actually, attacking. He could have easily just ran. He wouldn't have-
Jackal, by the look of him throwing that arrow out of the bow, and you're pretty versed in arrows and bow and arrow and fighting with arrows, he did that pretty well. Like, you see, for quite a nervous individual, he actually holds himself pretty well. It looks like he's done it. It looks like he's done it before, possibly to caravans. But yeah, let's just put it at that.
I'm just gonna look at Weaver and give him a wink.
Okay, he's just kind of looking, staring straight at it, beady-eyed, like with his little bow, kind of like that. Next up is Sentry.
Hell yeah.
Go on then.
Bonus action rage, and I will start making my way out towards. And before leaving, look over to Saya. If you stand on the other side and flank it with me, we got this. And make my way out.
I nod at him.
Bam. To the.
Also, this was supposed to be orchestra music. It's like rock. I don't know why.
Hey, it's cool.
I think to go on there.
Orchestral. Oh, I didn't see that. Orchestral.
And I'm gonna take a swang plus my blast.
Yeah, take a swing.
Swing.
It's Saya's thing.
There we go. So that's a 23 to hit.
23 to hit. Yes. So, are you still suffering a point of exhaustion, or have you got rid of that?
No, I'm all Gucci.
Okay, that's fine. Absolutely hits either way. I'm just wondering. Yeah, and that is 13 plus 8 damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Radiant.
Nice.
In case it makes any difference.
Just in
Yep.
case. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely hits and takes the damage, the full brunt of it, in fact. Let me do some quick maths.
Boom. Quick maths.
Boom. So am I just going? I'm assuming I just go the other side then, the opposite side.
Get flanking, yeah.
Yeah.
Get that sweet advantage. Nice. And that is the end of my turn.
Okay, so you kind of like, you swing in with your great sword, it kind of beams in as you do. I mean, what does your radiant damage look like, by the way, from your sword? Is it your sword shifting?
Yeah, from the getting it out from my back plates, again it starts to form out, and along the blade extending up from where his hilt is,
Yeah.
is the portions of same icy blue as Sentry's eyes. So
Cool.
lit
So-
up the same as Sentry.
Nice, so it kind of like goes and not modularly changes as
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
in and goes up, cut on the one of the legs, and it kind of just does it and goes stumbles back a little bit. Doesn't make any sort of extra movement or kind of like reaction to that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's your damage. Nice.
Yeah.
Next is its go. Is that your go, by the way, Sentry?
Yep.
Cool. Next is its go, and it's gonna kind of look glacially at you, just and kind of like you can see its arm with its club has been mangled, but it kind of throws its palm into you. It just goes for a straight attack.
Yeah.
It's Matt.
I would say it has actually got. We're gonna class it as a weapon attack because it has got some. It uses its armor as well as the club. It's like it's got like extra attached to it, so it just goes throws itself into it. On this, for some reason, it's classed as a
Great axe.
Yeah, but
They're all giving it. It's all good though.
We'll do it. 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Oh god.
It slices straight into you with its jagged armor and kind of cuts through one of your plates and does 29 points of slashing damage.
Nice. So 14. Very nice.
Ow!
Sorry?
It then is going to kind of look down on the floor, kind of like almost kind of go to grab a bit of rock on the floor, picks it up, and then just starts to attack you with it again. And from the other hand, that is 18 to hit.
18 hits, yep. Just.
And oh shit. That's 29 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. 29 both times, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 14. Yeah, again, cool.
I'll take a picture of that actually, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. And it kind of looks away and looks towards where you've come from and just goes, whoa. Just has this rock in its hand. Yep, cool. That's its go. Next up is Saya.
Hell yeah. Saya gets on all fours and transforms into his wolf form.
Yeah.
And activates his Rite of Flame claws. Let me just roll for that. See how much damage I take. I take 2 damage.
Yeah, take that off your hit points.
And then he jumps out here and slashes the fuck out of him. Is that advantage since we're flanking, is it?
I would say so, yeah, because you're the other side.
Hell yeah. So, attack number 1. Hell yeah, fucking nat 20.
Mate. Mate. Hold on, let me just show where.
That extra from D4 to D6 damage, baby.
Just gonna share that.
That's a 6 on both of them, by the way, Ollie. That you got.
That's insane. Right, okay, so you go in with your claw attack, you come in this new form, bounding out the circle. You kind of like scuff the ground as you go past, and you kind of like rake your claws across the side of its form, or the highest point that you can get is his thigh. And you go for 7 plus 6 damage, that is 13 plus another 6, 7, 8. So that is 21.
21
points of damage.
Then I'll do another slash.
We both did 21.
Oh, mate.
21 to hit.
That is insane. That absolutely hits.
Okay. That's that then. So that's 11 damage.
11 damage, yeah. So you go in for a second swipe, you come back in, scrape down on the other ankle. It kind of buckles as it kind of hits. As he kind of goes, ooh, you kind of hear it grumble. Yeah.
And one final slash, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Wait, you transformed, didn't you, Ollie?
Yeah.
So that was your bonus action, was it, or an action to transform?
So I get extra attack, and then my bonus action is going to be another attack.
Yeah, but isn't it a bonus action to transform into your thing?
Is it?
Wait, it can't be free, surely.
It is.
You can't just do it at will, unless it's a feat.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But
So just to remind you, you have a action, bonus action, and movement.
It's so long.
yeah, you haven't powered up for a while.
It's fine. It's cool. It's been a while. But really good damage, nonetheless. I mean, that's over 33 points of damage in total. It's ridiculous. Is that your go? Are you moving anywhere? Or are you going back?
Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just stay safe, and that's my go.
Okay, amazing. Athena.
Yeah, Athena, she is going to run around. She's going to dart through this gap between Jackal and Woober.
Yeah.
And then, oh shit, I've got camera. Sorry, camera. Then she's going to run there, so 5, 10, 15. And then she's going to dart out the dome.
Nice.
As she is going... Actually, no, she's going to come back. She's going to stay in the dome. She's going to come around this way, actually. She's going to go there. And she is going to just sort of bow down slightly onto the floor and look at Woober.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of her turn for now.
Amazing. Cool. Next up is Willow. Or Oakland, as we should know.
Okay. So.
I'm going to. Why can't I? Oh. Far is that? There we go. That's fine. Cool. I'm going to head to the edge of the dome.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Weaver to come over, and as I'm just about to leave, How far did I move? 5, 10. Cool. I'm going to... my hand's going to go black again. The long chain's going to come out, and I'm going to cast Shadow Whip.
Okay.
And I'm going to slash it.
Can you use Shadow Whip inside for something that's outside?
I can't, actually. That's a good point. Ignore me.
just a bit of mechanics there.
You can go outside though, we said.
Yeah, I can go outside.
If you
So
wanted to.
But that will deactivate the thing.
Yeah.
that would deactivate the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, it would.
It's going to go down anyway. I'm going to ask Weaver to come with me. I'm going to go there behind Slayer. The dome is unfortunately going to go down.
Okay, yeah, so soon as you step out, it goes and kind of comes out of existence.
And as I do,
yeah.
I'm going to whip it.
Absolutely. Make an attack roll. Or is it a thingy damage? A save?
No, it is... Wait, hang on. It is an intelligence saving throw.
Do you have to make an attack to hit? Is it a roll to hit?
Yeah, it's an attack to hit, but they have to make an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, do you want to roll to hit?
Yeah. How do you cast at higher level? Never mind. It wouldn't let me.
Did you set it up right on your sheet?
I don't know. I wanted to do it at a higher level, but never mind. It's
Do it.
gone.
You can do it at high level.
Roll the high level damage and then see what happens after.
How... Wait, what is that?
It'll probably be another d6, I reckon.
What is it to hit, though? Have we rolled a d20 to see?
Oh, no, never mind. Leave it as it is. It's not one of those spells that the damage increases. It's the targets that increase.
Okay.
So that's fine. Leave it as it is. So he needs to make a DC 15 save.
Okay, so it's not an attack to hit. It's just purely... Okay, that's fine. So yeah, it needs to make a... Let's make an intelligence save of 15, yeah?
Yeah.
It rolled a natural 20, and I'm not even joking.
Never mind then.
Not even joking.
It just takes 5 damage then.
It's still damage. Damage is damage.
Yeah. And then I'm going to move there to use up the rest of my movement.
Okay. So you kind of lash out to whip it with this dark, thorny, spiky entity of a whip. Kind of lashes around its leg, kind of flicks off, but as it flicks off, it kind of stumbles back. You do a small bit of damage, yeah?
Cool, yeah. And I'm just going to, as I'm running, I'm just going to ask Weaver to follow me, sort of thing. And
As the dome's gone down, Weaver's kind of looking around going,
We're not safe anymore.
next will be Salvation. Luke, if you'd like to do the honours.
Hells to the year.
With the accent.
She will. Oh, well, yeah, you're looking like... No, that's definitely not it.
That sounded more Irish.
I gotta hear her do it again.
You're definitely not the
That's
big
it,
giant.
yeah.
You're very good.
Oh, you're very... No, I'm still going Irish. Yeah, no. Either way, seeing that he is very strong, she's gonna take a step back and she will instead do Ray of Enfeeblement, which gets
Nice.
rid of the bless.
Okay.
But she will try. Fuck! I'm rolling so bad for Sal. I feel bad.
It's fine. That's cool.
Bless is down and it misses. So
Not the best.
nothing happens for that one. That's her second level used. And so she can't do the bonus action. That is her turn.
Okay, so the Ray of Enfeeblement kind of like you see the spell come out, but it kind of breaks as it reaches halfway through and kind of just hits the floor, and it kind of and under the shock she kind of grabs her amulet and just runs back. Yeah, not doing much in that turn. It's just a bit shaken up because this is the first time she's seen it up and active. Really, think about it.
Yeah.
So it makes narratively sense. Back to the top of the round, Jackal.
I am hoping for some big damage this turn for the setup. Right. Jackal's going to run 5, 10 to to engage with him again, and he is going to slash at him with his sword.
Okay. This is the ankle, not the leg, as you're really small.
Shit. 13 to hit.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, shit. Well, there goes big damage. But second attack, bonus action hit.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Still misses. 13 or 16, which one?
It's 13.
13? Yeah, misses, unfortunately. So you go down for a second slash. A first slash kind of goes in. It kind of like stumbles back as its foot kind of kicks your sword a bit and goes in for a second one as it kind of like stumbles back furthermore and you miss target.
Shit, okay, yeah, I'm going to move back another 5, 10, and then my turn.
It's going to take an opportunity attack on you.
Doesn't get one.
It doesn't. Very true. Because of
just
your
for reference again.
Yeah, mobile. I remember.
Whether I hit or miss. Yes,
That's fine. Yeah. So it doesn't even see you leave as it kind of like you go out and put it narratively. You just dart away from it. It doesn't really see you do it, and it kind of just goes. Whoa. Yeah. Woober's go. Woober's gonna listen to what Oakland had to say and run straight towards her and go.
Woober's gonna try something.
And just basically gets the bow and arrow back out. And he kind of goes,
wish me luck.
and he kind of throws it. See what he gets. That's a 7 to hit. No. Kind of like hits the side of the rock. Kind of bounces off. It just, it doesn't do a great job. Lands on the floor short and goes,
I tried. Woober tried.
And kind of goes,
Scared. Woober's scared.
And that's the end of his go. Sentry, you're up.
Nice. I'm gonna what I've done beforehand, bonus action to try and I do not make it. Shit. I was gonna try and make like I'd done in against Icy Man, forget what his name is. Targos. But it didn't work. So what
was you rolling for then, just so DM knows?
Trying to make contact poison. So I've used the components for that, but it doesn't go through. And so, as my action then, I'm going to take some swangs at this boy.
Okay, take a swang. With advantage.
Yeah. Swang.
That's a 9.
Oh god.
Unfortunately, does not hit. Throw your sword down, kind of like again the same action as Jackal, as it kind of just swoops out the way, very gingerly just moves its foot and you kind of miss it.
Action surge, baby.
Yeah, boy, go ahead.
Swing it up round, take deep. Swing it up.
Yeah, so as it lands on the ground, you swing it up. Absolutely drags across his calf muscle.
Try again. Nice. So that is 10, 14 plus 8.
Why is it 14?
I get to do great weapon fighting, so I re-roll one of the damage die, as one of them was a 1.
Okay, so what's the total, just so I know?
22!
22, brilliant.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah, cool. Big damage, nice. As you swipe up on its calf, it kind of like throws itself backwards and you can see just the excess frozen blood just pouring through. I mean, this thing looked damaged anyway because it's dead, but it looks even more damaged now.
Yeah, nice.
Is that your go?
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
So,
he's going to go again straight at you as you are the most threatening thing to it. Not the most intelligent. But he's going to come down at you with the rock as he kind of like has it in his palm and just mashes it, tries to hit you on the head with it.
I smash robot.
That is 23 to hit.
Yep.
That is 22 bludgeoning damage.
Cool. Live on.
As he strikes down with this rock, he picks it back up again and turns away and sees this other creature looking like a wolf. Slashes down at you, Saya. Again with the same attack.
What was it to hit it? Sorry?
28.
Yeah, hits.
That is 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
I can't remember if I have anything to reduce that.
You have it halved, Ollie. Because you're feral.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you take 15 points.
Oh shit!
7, 8, 9, 10.
Look, you got 2 tanks.
There we go. Right.
And it's just going to kind of look around and just go, woo, just kind of like, you see the blood trickling out of its jaw. You can see its beard now all blooded and battered and its eyes just piercing white. And Saya, you are up.
I'm just gonna attack.
Yep.
Not much else I can do. Alright. 1! 13
That
to hit.
misses. Unfortunately.
Try again! 25!
25 absolutely hits. Yeah, so is that 11 damage?
Yep.
Brilliant. Slashing
then
down
go
on the
back.
same leg that Sentry opened up. Yeah.
And then...
Yeah.
Can I... I'm gonna try a grappling strike.
Okay. Can you grapple something that is 3 times or 2 times the size of you?
It says... I'll just put it in chat.
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
Immediately
It says
after
grappling strike immediately after a hit creature with a melee attack. Or superior die. And then it doesn't say...
Yeah, you can't.
It
you
says
can't
for
grapple
grappling rules.
them.
Grappling rules mean that basically you can't grapple something that's bigger than you.
2
Oh,
times.
really?
Two
I didn't know
times
that.
bigger than you. Yeah. Now you do.
Okay, well there you go. Never mind, I will not try a grappling strike.
That's fine.
The other one.
I am just going to hit it again.
Yeah, that's fine. Realistically, you think about it in real terms, this thing's massive, and you're tiny compared to it. So, yeah.
I thought I
Like
was
you trying to grapple me in real life, Ollie.
Also,
I'll do another attack roll then.
also, Ollie, I will change the side of your token for you because you haven't done it yet.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's fine.
Alright, yeah, I'll just do another attack then.
Yeah, go ahead.
I missed.
11 unfortunately misses, yeah. As you
Yeah, that's the enemy.
swipe down, you've done some damage into that calf that Sentry opened up, and you go for another attack on an upswing, and its leg dodges out of the way. Yeah. Next up, is that your go? You got anything else? Saya?
No, that's it.
That's it.
I didn't say.
You-
I thought you heard me when I said.
No, sorry, I must have cut out. But Athena and Oakland, you're on deck.
This thing can literally one-shot Athena, so she's staying well clear. Yeah, Athena's just going to let Ferocious growl at the giant and sort of protect Woober, and that's going to be the end of her turn.
Okay, cool. Oakland, your go.
Cool. I'm
Oh shit.
Oakland's going to pull out some materials, and the rings around her arm appear once more as she's going to cast Chromatic Orb.
Okay.
She is going to cast it for... what I fancy today. She's going to do it under lightning, because why not?
Okay. Is that a save or is that a attack roll?
That's an attack.
Cool. Make an attack roll.
Oh! I
Uh,
can never hit with this fucking spell. I hate it.
that is a 10 and unfortunately misses as you spool up this lightning energy and it throws in its direction. It just hits the ground short of where its foot is. Doesn't do any damage, unfortunately.
I hate that spell now. I can never hit with it.
Is that your go? Or are you doing anything else?
I can't do anything else.
Okay. Next up is Salvation.
I am literally a glass cannon.
Yeah,
Drama.
Same with me.
Jeez.
But one of those
Yeah.
hits could literally
Yeah,
kill
'cause then
me.
that way she's still got a first. And she's
I'm just
still
lucky I have hide.
yeah, she's gonna use
Oh,
her
no.
last second again to try the ray of enfeeblement
Okay.
once more.
Cool. Made that roll. Is it an attack roll for that Rainfield? I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, +5 to hit. Come on, baby.
You got, yeah.
Just let me roll good for once for Sal.
I'm praying for you. Oh god.
Oh my
It's
god.
almost like Sal's in the room. She doesn't
It's
roll like that.
almost like
In IRL, Salvation, if you're listening, this happens normally. It's fine.
God.
it doesn't hit with a 9.
Nope.
So
What is the fuck?
sorry Sal. And sorry to everybody else. It's missed. That's ooh.
What? That's a harmony?
That's ooh.
Wait.
Or is that an advert for Taifu?
Ooh, typhoon.
This next time just might have something else though. Yeah, cool. That's it for now though.
Amazing.
Yeah, this thing's undead at the minute. So.
Next up, top of the round, Jackal. You're up.
Maybe some better damage this time.
Let's go.
Yeah, the same thing. Run, jump in, try and slash at his legs again.
Yeah, as you come down on the legs.
Strike one.
Ooh,
25.
25 to hit.
Nice.
Absolutely. That is 18 points of piercing damage as it's slashing down. Oh, slashing damage, is it? Oh, sneak. Yeah, Hunter's Mark. Let's go for piercing.
Yeah, so I've got Hunter's Mark and I've also got Sneak Attack because he is currently engaged with allies
He is.
within 5 feet of him.
Yes.
Engaged with enemies even within 5 feet of him.
You're absolutely right.
I'm now going bonus action, second attack.
Yeah.
I need to remove my sneak attack, so I only get that once per turn, and then but I get the Hunter's Mark. So second slashy, level 25 to hit.
Nice.
Oh, shit. As you go down and go up on this attack, and you go on for another one, you kind of bring your sword down on its other leg as you go for a slice. Jackal, how do you want to do this?
So, okay, Jackal frustratingly running back and forth, trying to actually fucking hit this giant thing, but it just doesn't seem to be his day. He's going to run in, he's going to jump and stab his sword into one of his legs, as he's just going to, with his other hand, just slash and carve away as much of his leg as possible until he drops to the floor.
And as you do that, and as you carve and slash, you see the leg again buckle in once more as it comes down and kind of like collapses in on itself. And as it falls, its whole body just kind of like topples into different directions. So you see its torso just and just kind of like snaps into different places as this entity of form or whatever was keeping it alive just, you see it just emulate into the air and just apparate, and it just goes and it as it hits the ground.
Nice.
Dead.
Nice.
Nice one.
The theoretical dust settles once more, and you again have another dead frost giant in front of you. For some of you, for the second time.
Yeah. I want to search it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
While they're
I
doing that, I'm
help
just going to
them.
have a look around.
Yeah, make a perception check or investigation. Depends what you do.
Yeah. I want to look for any prying eyes that decide to watch the show.
Okay, that is perception. The sun is now coming up to a degree, so you feel like it is becoming daytime, or the dusk time as it's called. Investigation with an 8.
21 with smelling
Yeah. If you let me, this is if you let me. I did say I'll help him.
I would say you'd see him do it, so I wouldn't say it's not common that you would not help him unless he didn't ask you. So I'd say yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah. Sure.
It's quite an in-character thing you'd do.
Yeah.
Cheeky 21, baby.
21. Did we find anything?
With the 21, you look around the corpse and kind of like try and pick off bits of flesh that are now hanging off, and the blood that is supposed to be splatting out is just frozen and blue. As you kind of like open up the pouches and the armour of whatever's left, and you don't find a thing. It's been stripped of whatever it had. I mean, the armour itself is made out of bone and tusks and some sort of like teeth, and you can see that its sheep fur is blooded and just ripped, and it's not great. With the 14, by the way, Oakland, you don't see anything in terms of looking at you. What you do see is that the wind has picked up once again. Woober kind of like looks around at you looking and goes,
Uber thinks we should get on now. Oh, we killed Uber tall.
Uber tall.
Uber tall. Very tall.
Oh. I thought you knew his name. I thought you knew more about him. don't know anything about this fella, do you?
Uber does not know thing about Tall. No.
Well, since this was an eventful morning, I think we should start hitting the road.
It sounds like a good idea, but should we quickly have a look and see what it was? I wouldn't know that.
What was you trying to say, sorry? Just so I know.
Yeah, what were you gonna do?
I was gonna see what it caught, basically what its game was, but she wouldn't have actually seen that. So.
And with your investigation check, it's no longer there.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind them.
Do
Ignore me.
any of us need to catch our breath before we continue?
It would be nice. I'm a little bit hurt. But if we really need to move out, I can also do that. I'm fine with either.
I think we should try and move on quickly, then maybe find shelter. Now, I don't know much about spells, but if there was a spell cast on this thing, I mean, Willow would, the people who put on the spell, detect that it's now been severed.
Obviously, I don't know if it's an actual spell, but with necromancy, is it a thing that the caster gets indicated if it dies or if it is discontinued in a way?
Depends on the caster, because if it is a controlled caster, which you can clearly see that this probably isn't because it was dormant, and you would have been told that and seen that, you wouldn't assume that it would have been a controlled cast, which means that it probably is a reanimate dead of sorts, which you don't think that would have happened. You're not a necromancer yourself, so you don't necessarily know, but you don't assume.
No, I don't think it will come back personally. I think it's just a one-time thing, but this isn't actually a spell. This is something that is beyond us, beyond that what I have known, so it could possibly come back. I don't think it's an actual spell.
In any case, I think we should at least try and make a move.
I agree.
I'm less so worried if it would come back. I'm more worried if the things that did whatever it did to it would realize it's now dead and come looking.
Well, that's even more of a reason for us to get moving, because they would just come to the place where it last saw the giant.
Yeah, that's my point.
But at the end of the day, after this whole situation with the goblins are over, we should really take into consideration that this is actually a possible lead to possibly find the cure for the king.
Of course.
So, but I don't know. I've never seen these sort of people before, so I just say we don't underestimate them.
I agreed. I agree. Also, did since I transformed into a wolf right in front of Woober, did he have any reaction to that, or he's just like
Woober was completely focused on the huge issue in front of him, which was the frost giant. As he looks over towards you and saw you fighting it, he kind of was like taken back, but then like looks at you like,
These people are weird.
he's not wrong.
He's kind of like a bit naive to it. He's not scared. He's just a bit, that's weird.
That's a new experience for me. All right.
Well, if we're fine to move on, essentially we'll just bend a couple of the plates back into place.
Yep. And you do.
We can continue.
Cool.
Still a couple bent here and there, but
Yeah, you can see some obvious damage, but you can just see it go, and you kind of like put it back into place on some of your shoulder pieces and your chest plate. Yep.
Awesome.
Good as
Yeah.
new. What would you guys like to do?
Just to head off to location.
Okay.
yeah.
Woober kind of like looks around and goes,
Are we, is Wilbur leading you? Are we going?
I believe so. Lead the way, Ruba.
Okay, follow me.
and he kind of like starts to take the lead. At which point I'll shove you back on as a map.
Work hard.
Icewind Dale, mate.
Do my normal amount and Athena if we're going on the move.
I might
Oh my
get a
God.
voice changer for when I'm in my wolf form, so I can have a lower voice. Not gonna lie, you gave me that idea.
It's a good investment, mate. It's a really good investment. You should try it.
You know what? I might. In our break, I might actually do that.
Okay. tell me when everyone can see the map, please. Just so interesting.
I can see the big one, yeah.
Yeah,
with
big
the
map
mark.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so Woober kind of grabs the remainder of his stuff, kind of writes his little short bow, kind of like looks the rest at you and kind of goes,
Right, we're just gonna go. Let's go.
and you kind of start to walk off to the direction of where you saw those shadow creatures lurk. At which point, I want to say take a very quick break, because we're alive.
Yeah.
And we'll jump back. And 3, 2, 1.
There you go. Does that sound?
That's great, mate. I like that. I like that a lot.
She sounds decent.
Say a sentence that Say would say, like, Sentry, I love you.
Sentry, I love you.
That sounds great. Sounds great.
That does sound pretty good, yeah.
And welcome back to Dungeon Delvers. Rime with the Frost Maiden campaign. We took a break. You guys didn't. You guys just saw me click. And we've been uploading some new production software. So prepare to be amazed is what I'm saying. Anyway, last we left off, the party had just fought a frost giant and saw the battle it faced before its demise of it being struck by shadowy figures, very similar, familiar to what they were facing before. After the battle, they took stock of what they have. Did you take a rest or didn't you take a rest? I don't think you did.
Yeah, we took a long rest.
Yeah, no, after
Long
the
rest
After
before
the
the battle, yeah.
Okay.
We just didn't we?
Did the battle, and Woober mentioned that you needed to be off, so you followed Woober into the direction of which you saw the shadowy figures. He then starts leading the way. Can I have your guys' marching order, please?
Middle.
Take front.
I'll take second then.
Athena.
So I'll say Salvation will be behind, behind Willow, and Sentry will be alongside Salvation and Willow.
Okay, brilliant.
One.
Obviously, Woober's up front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you guys kind of like start making your way for this new leg of the journey, it starts off quite easy, whereas the track itself is almost embedded in. You can see some of the track itself is kind of like dug out a little bit, and you can see a slight kind of engravement where you're supposed to be walking, or embezzlement down the path. And you can see the snow now kind of falling a little bit heavier than last night. The wind is continuing to pick up as it was the night before. As you kind of like have to keep yourself nice and warm by hunching up your warm or cold winter gear, kind of like keeping tail one by one. And as you kind of like walk around, you literally go into a straight line past some small patches of the odd tree here or there, and you come up to some bit of nature, if you were. Sentry, you would see this as a good point to also continue looking for herbs if you need some.
Yeah, I was going to say, whilst I'm going, I'll be continuing to do my usual looking for herbs and stuff, and also as we've started making our way as well, I would have held over to Jackal. Jackal, are you able to keep an eye out for any tracks that we're going to be following the shadow folk that went through this way, just to know if we're following exactly in their foot trails or maybe how far away they might be?
Easy said, easy done. And Jackal will do exactly as Sentry's asked, and we'll keep an eye out for any unknown foot tracks.
Okay, so I'd like Sentry to make an investigation check, and I'd like everyone who's looking for things to make a perception check. That includes everyone else, if you wish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Beat.
There's
What am I
just
investigating for?
15.
Your herbs.
11.
Again, we'll have to go over what's
20.
Oh,
Okay, so I would
that's
say
unique.
Jackal with a 20 on perception. You absolutely see, stop picking up one by one some foot trails just in front of you that are barely visible because they're about to be blown over. And you can see them just making the same direction that you're walking in. And there is about 7 to 10 different footsteps or prints walking in the same direction.
All the same, or there's some unique
They're
ones?
in a bunch, but they go in the same way, and you can tell make up to 10 individuals.
Is it all like human feet? Is it like paws? Is it?
So the footprints actually look like boot prints, so you would assume winter boot.
Okay. I will relay that onto Sentry as he's picking his herbs. Hey, Sentry! Come over here a sec.
Well, did you find the prints?
Yeah, funny enough, as you asked, I found, so it was a good call. Here, take a look at this, and I'm just going to point out some of the faded tracks to Sentry.
And Sentry, you can just about see them. You know when you put a footprint in snow, and the snow is just about to fill the gap up? There is literally that small engraving of a footprint.
You got a keen eye, Jackal. I believe beforehand you were able to sense where the dwarves may be. Are you able to do the same here, just whilst I take a close look at this patch over here?
Yeah, that's no issue at all. DM, as I haven't changed, I will stick with what I originally had, which is humans, and I think it was orcs.
Okay, yep, that's
So,
right.
technically didn't declare it, so I'll say that I would have stuck with humans and orcs. Jackal will dismount off of Athena. He will go up to the tracks, and anybody who's paying close attention to Jackal will see Jackal, the whites of his eyes go even whiter as he almost goes into a trance-like state, as he will try and detect any humanoids or orcs. I think it's been a while. I think it's within 5 miles.
It's a certain type of humanoid as well, so you can't just say
humans. Sorry,
humans. Yeah,
humans
humanoids and
I mean,
orcs.
sorry.
Orcs are humanoids. But
Humans and
humans
orcs.
and orcs.
Humans,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. So that spell just remind me is how many miles away?
I think it's 5. I'm just double checking now,
that's
mate.
fine.
It's
No
obviously
way.
hollered over to
5 miles.
right
Yeah.
to stop.
5 miles. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Miles.
5 minutes.
So it allows you to pinpoint or have an idea of direction of where these humans or orcs are, isn't it, within a 5 mile radius?
Yeah, so I'll just sum it up quickly.
Yeah,
'cause it's a
just
big
read it
old
out one more
thing,
time,
so
'cause it's
I'll
been
check
about
it in chat.
7 sessions since we used it last time, just to make sure I get the right description for it.
Yeah, so it says, additionally, you can attune to your senses to determine if any favoured enemies lurk nearby by spending 1 uninterrupted minute of concentration. As if you're concentrating on a spell, you can sense any of your favoured enemies are present within 5 miles of you. This feature reveals which your favoured enemies are present, their numbers, the creatures, general direction, distance from you in miles, and if there's multiple groups in that area. But of course, it's not my favourite enemy because we've decided to calm it down to pick 2 per day, which of course is humans and orcs.
Otherwise, you just flash up everything in the vicinity of everywhere, which would just be insane. So humans and orcs, so you kind of like see Jackal go into a sense of meditation, and you kind of Jackal, you sense and you use your deep thoughts and your kind of your mind kind of like almost goes out of yourself a little bit, and using this kind of radar as you kind of like place your hands on the ground and kind of focus really hard, and you can just basically everything starts to go a bit quieter, so you just hear kind of like a muffled, you know, when you put like earmuffs on or something like that, you just hear like a and then basically you kind of like focus in and you look towards the direction of the path, and you kind of like really focus, and it just goes and you feel the presence of not humans but orcs, and you would assume they're about a few miles off.
Do I know the general gist?
Following the path, but it's off the beaten track. So you would assume, just looking where you're going, you can see a bunch of trees coming up to you, on your left hand side, you would assume it's way off in the distance, just that way. No humans though.
Okay.
So the direction
Sentry,
you're facing, if you're facing south, you would be looking south, east.
Okay. How far, Sentry, are you away from the group at the moment?
It takes a minute for you to do it, doesn't it? So I don't know. I probably would have gone back over to the natural spot that you mentioned, Fraser, and had a look over. So
Unfortunately, your pickings of herbs is unfruitful. You find bits and bobs that you think you could use, but either they're too dead or frozen to be any use.
probably
Okay,
just an air shot away.
And yeah, once Sentry starts to come back, I will mount onto Athena. I'll look over my shoulder to face the group and say, "Believe that there's a small pack of orc that we seem to be following the path of. These are what their footsteps, I believe, are, but they've gone slightly off path, a couple of miles ahead. We should probably keep a watchful eye."
Is that to everyone you're saying that?
Yep, addressing the whole group.
Since the last dream say I had in the last session, he kind of just like he's just a bit like, nah, this couldn't have anything to do with that. Nah, they're just orc. It's fine. He's just kind of he's a bit confused, considering like a weird, almost destiny dream he felt like he had.
Saya, are you okay? Do you not like orcs? I mean, no one does, but
Don't worry about it.
that's okay. If you feel uncomfortable, just let us know, then we'll get out of there.
I can see Jackal laughing over there. You son of a bitch!
Just for the audience who are watching,
he
we are
doesn't
using
mind.
voice changes, and that is a thing. It's not your YouTube playing up.
Yeah.
Reset your thing.
Just to give you a bit more ambience.
Yeah.
Did you say a group of orcs, Jackal?
Yeah, I believe it's a small pack, although can't fully be certain.
From watching them, the shadow figures late at night as well, Fraser.
Yes.
Did they seem at all brutish, like orcish build in nature, or did they look as though they were the same as the ones that we'd seen in Brimshanda, where we encountered them, and they were human?
They
isn't
they look exactly the same in humanoid features.
Okay, that's fine. The if that be the case, I think the shadow figures are nowhere near here. Then we should be fine from them. They took down the giant with ease, so avoiding them is our best bet. Is your king at peace with the orc clans around here?
Woober does not like orcs, as you call them. But they attack and raid fort, and Woober and Woober's clan managed to fight them off so far.
Then we can fight them off again.
Yes. Your voice is so strange. Woober likes your voice. It reminds me of Yarbnock.
Is that a good thing?
Anyway, shall we go on? Woober thinks we should go on.
Yes, yeah. Lead on. We were trying to avoid as best where Jackal mentions.
Okay, no. We should be going another direction.
And he
Bang.
kind of points away from where you saw Jackal. Just so reference on your map, Jackal, I have labelled 2 little boxes of where one is where you are on the trail, roughly, and the other one is to the southeast of where you heard or felt the presence of Orc.
Oh, yeah, I can see that too.
Okay, thank you. Oh boy, so you're saying we need to go that way? As I'm going to point the way he faced?
Yes, Woober knows that we have to go that way.
Okay, lead on path. It's taking us away the direction of the orcs, but
Woober does not want to go
won't
into
come
Orc.
across them.
Woober wants to stay clear of Orc.
I just want to see if Woober's being any kind of deceptive, as if to set us up, stick us into a pack of orcs at all, or if he's being truthful. If anything he said just seems deceptive at all.
Make an insight check.
Sorry, mate, you'll have to repeat it. My headphones just died.
That's all right.
I didn't hear anything.
Make an insight check.
Cool. Also out
And
sound
also
settings
turn
as
your
well.
thing down so we can hear us.
Yeah, we can
yeah,
hear ourselves.
I'll sort out in a sec.
You're just going to plug us in, are you? Plug me in. Plug me in, Jackal.
This will get old eventually. It's fine.
Yeah, well, it'll become normal at some point, won't it?
New things. Insight, that is a 10. Has anybody got disadvantage so far? Has everyone wiped clean? I remember somebody having 2.
I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do still.
So that's a disadvantage roll. Oh no, is it?
Yeah, still a 10.
Still a 10. So with a 10, you can kind of see the slight smug look on his face of incompetence, naivety, just being a bit childish in his nature as a goblin. He doesn't seem any way conniving. Does that make sense?
No, that's fine. I will. Yeah, as I said, ask Captain Weber to lead on.
Yeah. And he just goes,
Okay, follow Weber. Weber knows the way.
Guess we'll just follow him.
and he kind of like walks on this time, and he kind of like hums a little tune as he goes along. Goes, and he kind of just walks along. And he seems in a bit of a chirpy mood this morning.
I will actually ask. We were just along the journey. Wuba, are you able to teach us, or at least myself, how to greet your king? Adrian always believed having a warm welcome is good when you go to meet outstanding folks.
Woober believes that outstanding is a good thing? Metal man?
Yes.
Woober will greet you to Yarbnock, and Yarbnock will hopefully greet back. He doesn't like strangers. We don't normally take strangers within the fort, but we just say hello normally in common sometimes, but we don't know much in another language.
Is it more well received in your native tongue?
Yes, you could say so.
What languages can you speak? Is it just Goblin?
Goblin? Yes, I speak Goblinkin. Hmm?
Okay.
Are you able to teach me whilst we walk how to say hello?
Yes, I can teach you how to say hello in Goblin.
Thank you, Uber. And yeah, I'll continue and keep an eye out for herbs along the way. And
Yeah. And on the journey, he kind of like takes you up on your offer, and he kind of like turns. He's almost talking to you, but walking forward. So you're like there, and he's like talking away, and he goes,
Right, so, you have to, use your throat to speak Goblin. Have you got a throat?
Yes.
Strange knowledge. Walk forward and he goes,
Well, you gotta roll your R. So, like that.
Urr,
R.
urr. Am I doing it right, Ruba?
Nah, no, but you can practice, and then it's almost choking sound like.
I don't get choked. It doesn't happen often. Can you do that one more time, Ruba?
You have to go and say.
Rakak.
The DM's got to remember this, by the way.
Hey, say
I
it. Did
can't
you
because
hear
we
that?
record this.
Why don't
You know what I mean? It's
Why
fine.
don't you give it a try? with your voice. Say it. I want to hear you say it.
No.
And when you meet Yarbnock King, you go. Royakach.
Roll your cock.
How are you going to remember this?
Why does that sound like roll your cock?
Royakach.
Roll your cock. Okay. Thank you. If there's anything else, please share.
We will perhaps just
This isn't gonna go well.
stick with hello, normal gesture, but otherwise say Royakach and just stay normal with voice. Yes.
Willow, why don't you give it a try?
I just give you like a hideous scowl.
Why is nobody willing to try this?
I can speak my languages. The goblin is more like a cart neck.
I asked you first, are you?
I don't care. You're so willing for us to do it, why don't you do it?
Roll your cock.
So, just a matter of interest. How long does your wolf form last for? So,
It's like an hour.
an hour. Okay, that's fine. I would say probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes have gone by since.
Yeah, up to an hour.
Yeah, so 30, 40 minutes have gone by since you've left. Since the combat. And you kind of like start making your way across. You have this conversation. And he tries to keep teaching you the ways how to speak in Goblin. And he says other things as well, such as, how are you? But it's they don't gesture in polite necessities. They just go, in common, how are you would be, you're still alive then, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he kind of carries on and tries to get you to understand a little bit about the goblin nature. It's very direct language. There's no asking. There's just gestures of voices. And make a quick intelligence check. Just see how much you actually get in. Actually, no. Let's do charisma for this. Let's do charisma.
Oh.
See how.
Are we all getting this, or is this just Sentry?
This is Sentry because he's having one-on-one lessons.
Yeah.
Oh no.
16. That's pretty
With a
good.
16, I would say for the duration of the journey, the first hour in which now say you are back in normal form, unless you want to do anything before you change.
Yeah, I'm back.
It's brilliant. I would say, Sentry, you are slight understanding of the words "you're alive" and "hello" in Goblin.
Nice.
Yeah, something though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good.
So I got roll your cock and which is a hello.
I will
Hello,
muster
yeah.
up what the rest is later on because I can't think.
Yeah, no, that's cool. The more stupid for me to say later on, the better.
Fuck up everything.
you guys start to walk down. You hear this kind of like fun / weird conversation a goblin and a robot are having. And he kind of like has this conversation, and then he kind of turns around to the rest of you and goes,
We need to cross bridge over to the other side from the frozen lake, and we go into the woods on the far side, and we head west, really, to Karkarock.
Well, is there anything we need to be aware of whilst going across this bridge and into the woods, or is it a safe travel from here?
Well, bridge is one of main ways into to 10 towns, as you call it.
and some of you would have actually crossed this bridge, just out of interest. Jackal and Oakland, you would have passed this bridge probably many moons ago.
So we recognise this area.
Yeah, you do. Both of you actually start to recognise where you are.
Ooh.
You possibly have taken a different direction beforehand, but you do recognise this passage.
Don't recall seeing anything, any trouble, nothing like that, nothing hard to cross.
No, last time you were on here, it was actually a bustling trade route at the time. And it was one of your first kind of few weeks within the Dale itself. And I would say that basically you saw a lot of caravans go past here, cargo, and at the point of where you were crossing, it seemed to be quite safe.
Okay, nice.
So I would say you have familiarity of this point on, but you didn't turn west, you went straight down, where the main caravans go. So after this bridge, he's saying to turn right, whereas you went straight on.
Okay, so we came from this direction, but he's asking us to go here.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So you kind of find yourself approaching in the distance, probably about 100 feet away. You can just about starting to see the familiarity of this stone bridge. Are you guys doing anything on approach?
I think I'm still going over the words.
Yeah, you are.
Making my way to the bridge.
Yeah, and I would say just a bit of flavour. Salvation would be finding this conversation quite hysterical between you two. And in the nature of Salvation, she'd probably under her breath try and say the words as well. Rabiok? No, I don't know. No. And she can you roll perception for the Salvation, please?
Oh yeah.
Where is she in the queue? Is she towards the back anyway, isn't she?
Perception, she has +2. Oh my god,
that roll.
Seriously?
Glad I'm getting these out of the way. Yeah, she just carries on dawdling behind you, just keeping up pace.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you guys doing anything as you're approaching the bridge?
No, just Oakland takes a deep breath and takes in the area.
Cool.
The memories.
Yeah, so as you kind of start walking past the scattered trees through the winding small paths, which are carved a little bit more prominent now, you can see that maybe this has seen a lot more traffic in the last few days than most of the roads, and you find yourself, you probably took a shortcut through the wilderness and then ended up back on a path that you could have gone the long way around, but you didn't. So you find yourself on the cusp of this bridge, and you look around and you can see the edges of the bridge start to come off. So it is basically just a straight bridge, and then there's two kind of piers in the middle where you would assume either passerbyers set up for camp or for just the odd kind of area to rest, or you might see a market up there or something along the bridge that you've seen on your passing. And you did see caravans resting on there as well, as it is quite a nice place to get trade. As this is a funneled area, you'd assume. So on your approach, it's deathly quiet. Jackal and Oakland, you see this. Is it supposed to be a bustling trade route? It is not.
I'm gonna be especially watchful.
I'll be the same.
Both make perception checks, or one with advantage. As you start to become 50 feet, 60 feet away from it.
That is a 26 for me.
That's a 19.
Okay, wow. Great rolls between you. As you kind of start your approach, you, with the 28, Jackal.
26. Still got a point of exhaustion.
26, thank you for being honest. With a 26 still, beats the DC. There's definitely something not right. And in fact, to the point of the footprints towards the bridge itself, they lead off in all directions, but on the floor there are much larger footprints, like not human footprints.
Cool. Okay. Jackal leading the pack is just going to do standard military thing, fist up, whilst riding Athena. Who's behind me?
At the moment, Saya, I believe.
Hello.
Cool. I will silent speech to Saya and say, "Rest it down the line. Something's not right in those tracks ahead. Big tracks."
With silent speech, remind me, can I talk?
No,
it's one way.
No.
Yeah. And on the floor, Jackal, just to be more descriptive, because you got such a high roll, it definitely has 2 feet, but the feet itself are more claw-based. They have a pad and they have claw. So it could be beast, it could be a lion, a tiger, a version of a big cat, a crag cat. It doesn't look like Athena's though. It just looks a bit too mangled and a bit misshaped, like an oblong triangle.
In that case, wait. So, would you tell me this information then, Jackal? That what the kind of tracks are?
just what I told you so far.
So I wouldn't know it was like a animal or anything.
Not yet.
Okay.
As I'm going to just have a closer look and see. Are they like staying on the bridge? Are they heading like down the bridge, or have they like come off?
With your roll, you can clearly see that they've been on and off the bridge, and even down the sides towards. You're now passing a tree line. Yeah, and you can see they're kind of like working their way down to the ice.
Just to gather the layout of it as well. Is it like the bridge goes along like that, and underneath is support beams, then a frozen lake?
So yeah, it's quite a short bridge. It's definitely a short stone bridge. So it's about 20 feet off the ground in terms of from where the ice is. It's not quite a high bridge, but you can definitely see the stonework across the lake. And just down by the side of it, down about 10 feet away from you, you can see where the footprints start to go down towards the river itself.
So it's like a little valley.
I will give you a visual. Why not?
Battle map.
Woo!
What do you mean? It's not a battle map. It's just a visual map.
Yeah,
I mean,
visual map.
Yeah, we knew that.
No, like I have actually made a decision not to put all the maps to battle maps, because why would I? This could be another challenge.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a battle.
Why have I got a mark on me?
I don't know.
It's
Got a little-
snail.
Take it off.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, so we're not on the
Wonder
bridge yet, are we?
This
No.
is the wrong token again, I think. Yeah, this is the one I can't transform in.
Okay, I'll change that. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we need, this is the bridge here.
I think you just need to delete that token that can't transform. Obviously.
Yeah, I will. I will eventually get round to being not lazy.
Jackal's going to start heading towards the bridge, still on Athena.
I would say, with obviously just being cautious, just make sure, obviously, you're telling me where you're going, but I'd say at this point you can move freely within 10, 12 feet, 15 feet.
This is quietly as well.
Okay.
Actually, I keep Athena down, I'm going to dismount and stealth ahead.
Okay, so you're off Athena, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so
Let me
5.
move our viewers on, see what they can see.
Salvation will give you a tap of guidance, by the way. So
And also,
That's so sweet.
the
Thank you,
standard
Salvation.
Jackal would know this from past dealings with any sneaking around or anything, but I'm going to have Apollo go onto his shoulder, and I'm going to hold onto Sentry and look through Apollo.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
basically him.
Yeah, you can do that, no problem.
Cool.
Yeah, move forward 10 feet. Okay to move again?
Yeah, continue. Are you doing it stealthily?
Stealthily, yeah. Do you want me to roll
check,
stealth?
please.
Yeah, of course.
You have guidance.
Do have guidance.
I genuinely thought you said you have died.
Yeah.
So that is a 13 plus a d4. That is a
Nice.
17.
Salvation coming in clutch.
Salvation. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. You've got such a big brain, honestly.
Salvation, big brain.
Yeah, 17 for stealth.
Missing you, is he?
Yeah.
That was a really low
Continue.
roll. Shit.
Yeah, continue.
5. 10.
Okay, and what you can see with your passive perception, especially as you merge around this tree line, probably about 60 feet, 70 feet ahead of you, there are two figures slumped across the bridge in a sit-up position with blood along the floor and not moving.
Let me just double check something quick.
Question: would I see this looking through Apollo?
You would.
I can't see where he is, though, because I haven't got Apollo on the map yet.
I'll drop Apollo one.
Thank you.
Drop him. Throw the cat on the map. Just
Yeah.
Mow.
I'm going to silent speech back to Saya, as he's the closest point, and just let him know what I've seen.
Yep.
In that case, can I do a perception check with advantage on smell and hearing to see if I can hear or like maybe smell blood or anything? Like see how close they are.
Absolutely, man. Make a perception check.
Or would it be an investigation if I'm specifically trying to find something?
No, investigation is more going and doing something physical to find out your result. What you're doing is you're getting a sense. That's what you're using your senses for.
26.
26. I would say because of the distance away, it would have been a higher DC. You hit it anyway. What would you say? Sorry, Sentry. Salvation will cure wounds. Sentry. Okay, yeah, you can do that. Do you want to roll the help for that? 26. Absolutely, man. You can hear, smell fresh iron scents of crimson as you know the smell well of blood, and it is coming from very strong, coming from the middle of the bridge, but also an other smell, and it smells a little bit like wet dog. This you've smelt throughout Icewind Dale, whether it be a polar bear coming nearby or could be anything, but it's definitely strong.
Where did you? In the middle of the bridge, right? So just ahead of us.
Yes. You can't see the bridge just yet. You can just see where it goes, but you can point out whereabouts it is.
I'm gonna walk over next to Apollo and Jackal and see if I can see anything with that, because I got 22 as well. So that's not for smelling or anything. Would I be able to get anything there from the sight-wise if I was here?
Sight-wise, you still see the two corpses slumped on the bridge, sat up with pool of blood around them.
Right. Okay.
Apollo is going to nudge. Is going to carefully crawl off of Jackal's shoulder, nudge him to advise going forward, and he's going to get real low towards the side of the bridge, and he's just going to start slowly creeping forward.
Okay. Do you want to? Can you freely move him?
Yeah.
And has he got vision? How far can he see? Does it say?
No, I've got cat stats here.
Is it,
Look.
has he got dark?
It only.
They don't have dark vision.
No, they don't. So it says it has advantage on perception checks, but then that will be a
Okay.
straight roll.
I'll give you the distance
dark
anyway,
vision.
because Icewind Dale has a dim light naturally. It's never daylight here; it's always dim light. So I'll give you the I'll give you about 40 feet. So that's what you're about to see. Should be
I'll Sentry would pick up Willow and just ask for Uber, just move up just so that we have visual of the bridge and everyone, but
Yeah.
stay quiet and close to us. And I'll just carefully pick up Willow while she's got her hand on me.
Yeah, I'm like completely unaware of everything at the
and
moment.
I'll just move forward.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna do it sneakily, so if I can roll stealth for the cat.
yeah, roll a stealth check.
I can't move salvation, but I suppose Sal would probably be up with us to about there-ish.
Where's salvation?
Oh,
Okay.
But I'd imagine she'd probably go there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I rolled a natural
Salvation be able to
one.
heal me too.
You rolled a natural 1. Okay. What was
Makes 3.
that? Was that for stealth?
That was for Apollo.
Okay. Let me just.
I can't
Noisy
do anything
ass
as
cat.
Willow.
Knocking over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you kind of like as he starts walking across, you kind of like see a few cracks and goes, and he kind of slips a little bit and goes, and you hear like a small slither of ice slide across the bridge.
Yeah, Jackal, seeing Apollo being noisy, is going to stay where he is.
Okay.
Sorry.
Cat just walks down the bridge, being like,
How far can I move, by the way? Because I'm not sure what
You
your
can
rules
move
are.
freely now to this point. You just need to tell me where you're going.
To the bodies, and I'm just gonna sniff them and see what they are, who they are, and stuff like that.
Slightly,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah. So you can definitely do that. So make a perception check. Everyone just stand still a sec, just so I can get these rolls in.
Okay, so this will be a straight roll. What? Would it be a straight roll? Because I get advantage, but obviously if it isn't. I'm not sure what your ruling is, because
So what?
cats don't have dark vision, but
Yeah.
with perception checks and stuff, I get advantage.
Just do a straight roll because it's not perception. It's investigation. What are you trying to achieve? Sorry again. Just for my interest.
I'm basically just looking at the bodies.
Okay.
One,
Perception.
to see if they're humanoid and see
Yeah.
who
Straight-
they are and stuff
You
like
can
that.
make it with advantage because it's not dark.
Oh no, sorry, I got that wrong. So it'll be a straight roll. It's the same with Sayers. Straight roll for looking, advantage for smell.
Okay. So
That's where I got it wrong.
just make a roll. For smell, you get advantage. For seeing, you get normal.
Okay, and then roll. And... Oh. 20. Okay, so 15 for smell.
And 14.
Wait, no. No, it'll be 15 normal because that'll be my first roll.
That's right.
won't
So
it?
it's 15.
Yeah,
anyway.
so it's 15 anyway.
Yeah, 15. So what you can see is these individuals look not like your natural tradesman or caravan leader or someone coming in and out of Bryn Shander. They look a little bit more mercenary. And by the looks of them, you can see they have the belts that once had scimitars or swords. One of them has got a kind of cloak or hood over his head. He's got a big black beard, pulled in blood by his neckline. And you can see cracks of ice where the frozen environment has taken over him. With that perception check, I would say you can see that it's probably been dead for maybe over a day or so.
Okay, I would be whispering this to Sentry as I'm seeing it, by the way. So when I'm seeing it and I'm finding everything, I'll be whispering this to Sentry.
Yeah.
So, Sentry, my eyes are just wide open, completely white, and I'm just jabbering on.
have you just check for what Sentry knows? Have you done this before with Sentry and told him anything about it?
I believe I've done this before, but I've not spoken to you before when in it. But I have done this before.
Did you give Sentry rules on?
No. But Salvation's next to you, so I'm gathering Salvation would have some common sense. Not saying you don't.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't.
As this is happening,
Alright.
guys, as this is happening, Jackal and Saya, as your positions where you are, you would absolutely see this. You see Apollo kind of like walk up to these figures, and he's kind of like looking up and down, and you almost start to see, and say, Jackal, you see this, his feet from the ground up start to crackle with ice, and his fur becomes very stiff and cold. And with even a second notice, you see his whole form just and start to freeze up. He takes 7 points of cold damage.
He exploded.
Gone.
And as you see Apollo just into the Phalanx, he goes.
Yeah, Jackal's moving back if he can.
Okay, you can move back. You can move freely. Just tell me where you go.
10. We're moving 20 feet back.
That's fine.
Oh.
Are you doing anything else?
Sorry, I thought Sam might have done something. Yeah, I will look back towards Sentry is my next point of contact that I can see. Silent speech to Sentry. Apollo just blew up.
And at that moment, Oakland's gonna go, and then get off Sentry. Just say, no! What happened?
So are you... Jackal is Saya back as well?
So
Play that music.
get your
Yeah,
ass
I know,
over
I've got to
here.
change
Silent
it.
speech.
It's too childish.
It's like, what happened? It's just like, oh, your cat died.
Wrong vibe.
Um,
This is a horror story, Saya. This is a horror story. No.
what do you mean? That was just a playlist.
I know.
You look back and Saya is still walking towards the bodies.
Okay. You continue to do so. You may move yourself freely to a degree, if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of walk, since I saw what happened, I'm going to kind of walk around the outside of them.
Are you doing it stealthily, or are you just walking?
Yeah, I'll do it stealthily, why not?
Okay, make a stealth check for us.
Shit, it's stealth, but
Hey,
hey,
Miles.
here we go.
Jackal to
Oh, no,
Sentry.
nat 20!
Nice, man. Nice.
I'm a fucking...
Okay. I mean, Jackal, you see this. He's walking and moving past all the broken bits of stone and ice, and you can't hear him. He's going very quietly.
Yeah, I'm gonna now with Sentry moved up to me, I'll whisper to Sentry, he's fucking ignored me.
While that's happening, I'm going to kneel down and whisper to Weber. When you made your way up to Bryn Shander, was there anything like this before?
Are you asking this to Woober?
Yes.
Woober goes,
No. Road was quite busy. I had to be maintain form and not be seen.
So this has happened recent. By the way, guys, I'm not sure if you heard, but it looks like those bodies have been here for roughly a day. They look like mercenaries, not tradesmen.
I think problem at hand, we need to figure out if Saya and everyone crossing this bridge is the right idea. Otherwise asking roll your cock to Saya will be no dead. And Sentry will creep forward across as well.
okay. If you're going onto the bridge and you want to be stealthy, make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Question as
I'm
well,
gonna follow
DM.
Sentry.
Well, before they get on the bridge, since they were having a bit of a conversation before I got here,
Okay.
can I kneel down and kind of have a look over the bodies to see if there's any emblems I can recognize?
Yeah, are you going closer or are you staying there?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'll go closer.
Okay. So you have a look. Make a perception check.
I got 26 for stealth, by the way.
26 with stealth.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm having a +11 now. It's brilliant.
So,
I got 9 for perception.
Okay. Oh, sorry, investigation. What did you roll?
Oh, investigation.
Yeah,
oh,
sorry,
right. I'll do it again then. Sorry.
No, I'll take the roll.
Well, no, because the plus will be different, so you just might as well
I've
reroll.
got two
it's
different.
fine. Okay. Normally I get the roll and put the plus on whatever the plus is for the investigation, but it's fine. 'Cause
You rolled the exact same, bro.
Yeah.
Both times.
Yeah, I rolled the same.
That's 3 threes. 3 threes.
Yeah.
So, with a 7, you kind of look around and looking up and down the Garm. It's interesting because you don't really see anything in particular that brings these out to any other sellsword or possibly travelling mercenary that you've seen before.
I draw my rapier and I kind of poke him.
Give him a pokey poke. Yeah.
I'll give him a little poke.
You can definitely do that, and you toy your rapier and give him a poke. Is it on fire, by the way?
No.
Okay, so you just poke him, and you kind of see the body just kind of shift with it. As his head kind of rolls the other way. Yeah.
I stand up, look to the others coming over, and say, "There's nothing to be worried about."
Do you shout that?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Cool.
Quick question as well, DM.
Yes.
Is this the direction is this the rough direction that the cloaked figures came from?
It's a different.
Do they come the direction we
It is
were
the same
walking?
direction as noted by Jackal, but it's a difficult one because there's so many footfalls in this location to decipher where and who has what footfall.
When I was there, and obviously watching them attack the poor giant,
Yes.
is it a similar way of killing it? Or is it completely different?
Killing what? Sorry.
So, like, the way that the Shadow People killed the giant, is
Yes.
this a similar way they killed them?
Killed who?
The mercenaries. I'm basically, I'm just trying to determine if they did it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if it's the same way they've been killed as the giant
I feel
did.
like you'd have to be closer to see, but from what you can see so far, there isn't any protrusion.
I didn't see it when I was the cat at all.
Oh, sorry, when you were the cat. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Not now, sorry, I wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for reminding me. No, you can't see any arrows or familiar slash marks or the kind of necrotic damage that it almost did to you and your party. You can't see that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was just curious. Yeah.
So what happened after I shouted, "It's okay, guys, you can come over here"?
Nothing so far.
Nothing. See, you're just being paranoid.
My cat died.
I'm
Fuck your
whispering
cat.
to Sentry. Sentry, there's definitely something around here. I know tricks when I see him. Just keep an eye out. I don't think Say's been the smartest.
Did you see? Did you see anything go to the cat? Or did it just become ice?
It seemed to suddenly almost. You would see ice forming on it, and then next minute, oof.
Did you see where the cat was? Was it further on the bridge from where Saya is, or closer?
I think if I remember correctly, was it just before
Okay.
where Saya was DM?
I was here.
It was just before.
Oh, just before. Okay.
You were right beside.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I will say that. Now to Sentry.
Okay. Sorry, as in like in line with that. Sorry, or in line with the.
Just before him.
He died here.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, we
What was that?
we should try and get across the bridge here. Sarah's right up the front there. Maybe yourself and Sarah can quietly.
Guys, I hear something over here. Maybe it's not a great idea. I changed my mind.
Come on, guys. Let's get back into it.
I'm being serious.
Okay, right.
That was
Let
actually
me
what
check
he
something.
said.
Oh shit!
I can hear something on.
Oh, he's a long way away. He's out of reach for me to talk to him, Sentry. I'm really not confident with going up ahead without the rest of us. I feel like there's some real danger here.
I think. Am I able to move freely right now?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go now. Yellow to back to
I'm
east.
going to start walking back then.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
I'll get like here-ish. I
Yeah.
guess.
So in that direction of where you were going, as you walk past towards straight direction, you can definitely feel more of a chill in a certain area than others. It's almost like you've walked through something that was just extra cold.
Obviously, okay.
And you felt your
I'm going-
skin rise. You felt your arms start to just freeze up in a very similar fashion to what you saw Apollo.
I'm going to draw my rapier and cast thingy on it. What's it called? Rite of Flame.
Okay, you can do that. So you can comes up.
Yeah.
Would you like to do your thing?
Yeah, I just need to roll a d4. 2.
Cool.
And I'm kind of since you said it was like over my arms and stuff on my skin.
Yeah. So it was more so. I'm just going to draw another object. Actually, I'll move this one because I don't want to draw too much stuff on the map. The first bit is where Apollo died. It was here where you felt the cold.
Okay, so so I got there. So in that case, he would have been walking. He would have thought it's nothing, and he's like, "Wait, no, it's kind of weird." He's gonna go shing, and just kind of like try and warm himself up a little bit.
Yeah. You can do that, and you can put it on your arm, and you kind of just a nicer feeling. It's a better sensation.
Yeah. Is the cold going away?
Yeah.
Or anything? Yeah. It's going away. Weird.
So why don't you come back across this way? We'll ask Boober if there may be another way around. If this is the only way, then we'll make this way across.
Yeah. Sure. And he walks over to the other guys.
Okay.
And
forward.
yeah, I'll look back to everyone and Woober. Is this the only way across Woober, or is there another bridge or gap further downstream?
Woober knows of only this route. Woober knows that there is no other route, unless you want to walk over ice.
I don't want to risk that.
Why would you? We've got the map, don't we?
Yes.
The world map.
You do.
Am I to just see that?
Yeah, I can get that out because I believe that's in. Yeah, I mean, I will go over to Jackal and just say, I think this is more handy with you, and I'll give you the maps, Jackal.
Okay.
Both of them. The first map we got and the waterproof one we got from Keegan.
Okay.
Because there's no point me having them, to be honest with you.
You put them in your inventory.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, I'm not sure if it's easier, but if you want me to go on the ice, I can.
Well, let's have a look at the map first. See if there may be another passage down the way.
I don't remember. Do me and Jekyll possibly remember another path if we've been in this area before?
You've only travelled through here.
While looking on the map.
Because this is a main caravan entrance. You haven't been anywhere west of this place. You've just gone straight up from here.
Okie dokie.
So just keep an eye and an ear out down the bridge, just whilst we have a look at the map here. And if we're pulling the map out, I'll have a look on the map, the world map.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hold the map out.
I'm the map.
I'm the map.
Have you got a handout of the map?
No.
So give you one.
It was, to be fair, the handout the map isn't in grand detail. You might need to, because you can't really zoom in. You might need to pop us on the world map.
Oh, I'll put you on the world map. Probably be easier.
World man.
Put you on the world map. So you can go there.
That's a good one, Chloe.
Okay, I've popped you on the world map, Sentry.
Yeah, just looking on the map with everyone. So that's the bridge there. Find the water all the way around. And the water goes, yeah, the water follows it all the way. That's the red run. This can't be the only way across.
Bear in mind, just as a matter of interest, if Woober said that he hasn't seen any other main way across, across that path that he travelled, you'd assume that there wouldn't be another bridge. Otherwise, he would have gone on it.
The bridge shortened. The looking on the map as well, the only bridge here seems to be the one ahead. If we're not happy taking the bridge here, we can possibly try following this river along and try a shorter stream to cross of frozen water, but otherwise we'll need to make way across here.
I'd rather find another way, but we're on minimal time. I suggest we just be aware, get on with it, and if something pops up, we'll deal with it as and when. As Jackal is slowly going to stealth forward.
Okay.
Am I to go back on the?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Like, put me on the other ones.
Can't move any further.
Where would you like to go, Jackal?
As far forward as I can, basically, nice and stealthily,
Okay.
quietly.
Yeah, make move where you want to, move freely, but make a stealth check.
Yep, it's just slowly creeping along the bridge. Stealth check for Jackal is going to be
I'll be keeping a 10-foot gap.
17.
And Jackal.
17?
I'll be
And,
doing the
um,
same.
I'll
I'll be
probably
about 10
follow
foot
him, actually.
behind.
24 for Sentry.
I'll do a stealth
Nice.
check too. Let me do a stealth check. Are you ready for the Sayer to fuck it up? Yeah!
We actually are.
And Salvation will just be following.
Have I not gave you control? Oh, I'll give you control. I haven't gave you control of that again.
Fina will follow behind as well.
Yeah, Luke, you got control of Salvation, so.
Cool. And your
Fina is going to get.
Salvation stealth is with disadvantage +2. So she
Fina got 14.
She got 13 as well. Salvation's got 13. Not
Probably
too-
the highest roll she's done tonight.
Yeah, no, literally it is. Yeah.
Give our viewers a bit more.
So I got a 6 on my stealth. Did I fuck everything up yet?
We'll find out, will you?
You're gonna find out.
Can I move further forward, Mr. DM?
Yes, you can. If you want to continue
Cool.
yourself, you don't have to make another stealth check. These are just
Yeah,
general stealth checks.
I'll move another 10 feet, and then when you tell me it's good to go, I'll move again.
Okay. You move 10 feet, Jackal, and you start to... Your arms start to go very cold very quickly. To the fact that half of your body feels like it's under some sort of stress, and the other half feels normal.
Okay, I'm gonna just push through as quick as I can.
Okay, what's your movement?
Jackal, do you want me to go through first?
Jackal's just gonna keep pushing at this point. 35 feet.
Okay, yeah. So you can move 35 feet, just in one round. So that's 6 seconds. If everyone else wants to make their quick round.
Is Jackal? Are you like just running ahead
We're doing this as an initiative, but not an initiative at the same time.
Yeah.
Just 'cause
No,
everyone's-
I mean, like beforehand, you were moving carefully, Jackal, and now you're like
Still
running.
moving carefully, but you can see me like I'm not hanging about. But I'm still moving quietly, carefully, but I'm not hanging about.
Okay. If that's the case, Woober, quickly jump on my back. I think we need to run.
Woober will do that.
You jump on your back.
And seeing that Jackal's sprang across, he'll move in like manner, and I'll dash with Woober.
Okay. Dash away.
Calm.
I'm gonna keep moving. Yeah.
Go there.
I'll move.
I'll go there. Cool.
Where is
I'll
Athena
move-
going, Jackal?
I'm gonna move up to the
Yeah, I was just waiting. So she has 40 feet. So
Salvation will stick with Willow. Wherever Willow
do a
goes, Salvation
dash.
will join.
Are we are okay to dash on this one, aren't we? Or is it just one full movement?
You're taking it as just a movement thing. We'll take it as like a go each if you were going to take a turn in combat, but you're not. So you can take an action, bonus action, and yeah, do your normal stuff.
Cool.
Okay. I'm gonna, if I'm able to, I'm just gonna walk where Jackal was and stick my hand out.
Okay.
Is it, for me, painful?
Yes.
Take my hand back out then.
Okay. Take your hand back out.
Are these like what are these things here?
More so flavour, but let's just call them barriers
Okay.
for possible roadblocks that would have been there that keep certain flow of traffic.
Okay.
Feel free to move Athena where you are, by the way, Jackal, because she would have run with you.
I'm gonna run here then, use 30 feet.
Okay. Salvation.
Yeah, she'll do the same. Move up with
And Woob is obviously with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. As you run past, and I would say as soon as Saya and Salvation run past, you hear a slight crumbling of stone, and you hear a slight, and you kind of hear it when you hear this kind of like scraping of stone.
Can I hear where this is coming from?
You can.
Where is it?
And I would say with Jackal's passive, it's coming from a similar area to where the black box is in your screen. But towards where the edge of the bridge is. So around here.
Say's gonna like whip around and have his sword out, like point it in the direction just to see if there's anything there.
Okay, you whip it around, you turn around. Nothing there just yet.
Whoa.
Oh,
You lagged for a second. What did you say?
Oh, sorry, you turn around, you whip your sword out, and there's nothing there
Yep.
just yet.
Saya is then going to slowly kind of walk over to the edge of the bridge here.
Okay, so you walk over to the edge of the bridge. Your body immediately freezes up in this kind of like, you feel your body being ever more pushed into this orb of cold that you can feel every time you walk past, but now you've walked deep into its almost apex. And
If Salvation could, by the way, whilst Saya was passing, she tapped him with, I'm gonna say,
He's kind of cast.
oh no, which one is which? I
would like some help too.
With resistance.
okay,
We
cool.
should say that Salvation. Just don't know.
let's put a token
Resistance.
of resistance. That's
Resistance
probably-
just means add a d4 to the saving throw.
Saya, as you're on the edge and you look around to see where this noise comes from, you see this giant furry claw grab onto the end of the bridge, followed by another, and immediately wrenches itself up. And you see in front of you, throwing itself on the edge, a huge
Ice troll.
form of this half figure. It's very similar to what you look like in this wolf form. This matted fur, half leathered skin, 8-foot beast with huge tusks, just wrenches itself with a and stands on the end of this and looks at you and goes, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh. Goddamn.
Hey. Goddamn.
Beautiful.
Oh,
He's gonna be
typical for a
confused
troll
at the
to be
start of
under a
this next
bridge.
session. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck were
You guys
doing?"
didn't see the troll bridge thing? I mean, come on.
Typical.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I didn't say there was danger.
Yeah,
There's mine.
I was like, oh, it's fine. If everybody just runs like we're doing, that'd be great. Yes, we just get straight. Oh no, okay, he's gonna go back.
Okay.
So
Where's the curious guy?
I will be honest with you, he made 3 very bad rolls in terms of your stealth. He didn't hear most of you for the rest of that. For the
Did he not
part
say
of the-
shouting?
He heard that, but didn't do anything about it.
I'm just doing what Saya would do. all right?
You have to.
No, that's fair play,
Yeah.
that's fair play.
I'm
And-
being my character.
And as we conclude with another cliffhanger for next session, we shall see you then. But thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you haven't, what are you doing? Because
What?
Doing with your life.
What are you doing?
You don't. Wolf Sayer's gonna get you.
anyway, go on the Dungeon Delvers
So
with a
rough,
Z.
you guck.
Go on the Dungeon Delvers with a Z on Instagram. Go and give us a like and follow, and have a look, obviously, on our other channel, which is our Twitter, which we haven't mentioned in a while, which is the DDZ Dungeon Delvers channel. I have been Fraser, and thank you for watching, and thank you from the rest of the cast. We shall see you next time. Bye!
We shall roll you next time.